Gone, bro. I'm done, bro.
Hey, welcome back to the To Be Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P.
Over here, real.
It's Q. And we back. Special guest in the house today.
Yes, sir.
Long time friend of the show, collaborator. Been in the port with the boys back in the day. NiGE Hood in the building.
Yo. What's up?
What up? How you living, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here, bro. This feels like a family reunion.
Yeah.
He came, so it's like it's double stamp, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
I already know.
Yeah, bro. I remember
hey, before we
my bad.
We get to it, but let's hop into the
before that, we can't let no elephant go unaddressed. Shout out! Can we get a round of applause? A hand clap. Johnny got the taper.
Oh yes, sir.
Johnny got it.
Yes, sir.
Johnny got he done cut the mustache. Johnny looked like he's going back to black women.
Hey.
Oh man, he getting his most deaf on.
Hey, I plead the fifth. We got a wedding coming up. I'm gonna be in the wedding. I got to look good for the pictures.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, it's black love.
Black love, baby.
All right, go ahead, Johnny.
Nah, I'm getting y'all ass today for that one.
Forever.
All right. Oh, wait. You got to join.
Oh, my bad.
This is
all
the
right, so we all doing paper, rock, scissors all together?
Yeah. Paper, rock, scissors, shoot.
I mean, shit, okay. All right. Paper, rock, scissors, shoot. Paper, rock, scissors, shoot.
All right. Ah, damn. All right, come on.
Paper, rock, scissors, shoot.
Y'all up.
Oh, okay. I said okay.
Get your ass out of here.
All right,
You trash,
Get your ass up out of here, man.
Yeah, I don't know the politics behind that, but yeah, we'll discuss that later.
And see what they better.
Yeah, I was kind of confused on that.
But I'm gonna go last. I'm gonna let Q go first.
Okay.
And I'm just
So
Real, you got.
about to say to kick it off, should we go with
let's go with
NiGE just sent one in, and I think it'll be a good punt for what the conversation at the moment is.
Oh.
Right.
Oh man.
Get out to the guys.
Yeah, let's start it off hot then.
right.
So I didn't know it was another clip.
That's Head Graphics. It's a promo for an event.
Okay. Hey, shout out to him.
Yeah, Head Graphics, Joseph Head.
I guess I'll kick it off and ask the questions. We'll throw it to y'all. Joe Biden has officially dropped out of the race.
Yep.
Good, bad, indifferent. He endorsed Kamala. I don't know how y'all feel about that. Thoughts.
Yo, when I found that out on the ride home, right? And I was like, yo, this is about to be way more of an entertaining race now.
You think so? I think this is about as entertaining as we can get.
He's pretty entertaining.
Bro, I hate to say it, but the dynamic of her being a black woman, it's a whole new stir in the whole social pot. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely
that's true.
A whole lot of the people on the Trump side, they definitely, no disrespect, don't respect black women. You can pretty much guess. So it's like that's I'm interested to see how they go. You know what I'm saying? How far they step. You know what I'm saying? And of course, at the same time, like the precedent of it all. So it's gonna be wild to see what happens in the discussion.
My bad. Hey, again, this is a live show, so sometimes things happen. But yeah, finish up.
No, that's it. Nah, I'm ready to watch.
I mean,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think Trump had it won beforehand. I don't think Kamala gonna be the one that beats Trump.
Hell
like
no.
I think I don't think she gonna beat him. So I mean, to me, it's like, what's next? Looking past it, kind of.
Yeah, I think
he should have been dropped out.
That's what I was about to say.
Ben did that shit.
And then you're gonna wait until July, mid-July, or this is the end of July.
September,
damn near. Oh,
you got 3 months away, bro.
It was really bad timing. He should have done this a while ago. I also don't think Kamala shit. That's not going to work either. He was.
What you think about Gavin?
I think Trump is just going to win, bro.
Yeah, he is.
I don't think that's really.
I knew he was going to win.
Nah, okay. So I think I remember saying like an episode or two ago that Biden was going to drop out. Kamala is not going to be the one who he might have endorsed her or whatever, but I don't think she's going to be the one who's running. I think it's gonna be somebody that black people is actually gonna fall for. And I'm still saying like I still think Michelle Obama possibly, but I don't know.
She ain't.
Nah, she ain't getting.
She don't really have like a.
It's gonna be somebody who people gonna vote for, man. I don't think it's gonna be Kamala.
You think they're gonna change again?
Yeah.
Well, I don't
That's
know how
crazy.
it works, but is Kamala like don't you have to go to the DNC to become the
Yeah, that's all I'm like. Just because he endorsed her, just because he endorsed her doesn't mean she's gonna be the one.
That doesn't mean that they have to take.
That's what I'm saying. He just endorsed her. That doesn't mean she's the one. So that's what I'm saying. That's just talk right now.
And then
Like I think they're gonna choose somebody who black people are actually gonna vote for.
but that also hurts the Democrats because the DNC's next month in September, but whoever it's going to be, they're not doing nothing right now. While Trump's still campaigning, he's still for this next month, he's still going to be gaining traction while the Democrats is on the sideline trying to figure out what we're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all seen all them white folk with the goddamn bandages on their ears at the rally?
They like Nelly over here. He got the Saint Lunatics over here.
They was deep with the bandage, bro.
My Shan said, "Why do you think she can't win? Because she a woman?"
No, I think
because
that
she
Kamala
I think it has nothing to do with that.
No,
Well,
because
not even-
she hasn't been given enough time to shine. Like, not her fault, but like they keep her in the damn closet. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they didn't give her a chance to earn respect like she deserves. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just tough. And the nation's already charged. They want something aggressive. Like that's why Trump's winning. Because if that's what I'm thinking, if the Democrats read the writing on the wall, they find somebody who is like aggressive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give a young dude out there, young white dude, it could be either. You know what I'm saying? Like, but have him be aggressive and he'll be a formidable opponent against Trump, not like an old dude.
Yeah, and I guess to answer it, I would say Kamala Harris, unfortunately, is almost universally disliked to an extent. She people don't necessarily really like it. I think that black people kind of have a disdain because of like her quotes of like, "What I look like doing something just for black people," or her position as like, what was she, like an attorney or whatever it was. She put a lot of black people, black men in jail.
Yeah.
I don't think that like inside a debate, like anytime she's kind of been front facing, she just hasn't won over the heart of people to where across the board on both sides, she's not specifically loved. Yeah, that's what I say.
Even looking at the sentiment under most of the like posts that I've seen about this, the sentiment under it, every time anybody says something about Kamala, it's like, nah, that's not the way to go.
Yeah,
they need to choose somebody else. Everybody keeps saying that in the comments.
That's not gonna help anything.
Y'all not for Gavin? Gavin just turned up California. Can we make this a quick? This is a quick like detour. What do y'all think about that? The latest law that was passed in California, where it says that teachers don't have to tell parents how their kids are identifying within the school system, no matter the age.
And we had a conversation about it. So it's essentially the idea is like you can go to school and the school treats you like the opposite of what your sex is, and they don't have to tell your parents. Like, you know, like almost like the nickname around the school. You know, you tell the teacher what you want to be called, and they allow you to pretty much be whatever sex you want to be, and your parents could literally never find out.
What do y'all think about that?
I think that I don't agree with any measures to keep parents from having influence over their children. Because like at the end of the day, we have all these infrastructures that we created as civilization, but at the end of the day, we are people out here raising our kids, having families. And I feel like the older you get, that's why honestly, I feel like that's why more people are not going to be voting Democrat, because like at some point, bro, we're going to have some type of like limits. Yes. And I'm not trying to say like for the sense of what people can be, but at least for people to raise their children, you know, I think that's kind of
when it comes to this too, like if like your kid went and did something wrong, you'd be held responsible for it. And so like if I'm 100% responsible for a minor, you can't hide information from me about my kid because you're not responsible for him. I'm the one that's going to be responsible. If he's going out doing something that I don't agree with, I'm the one ultimately that's going to have to deal with that. So I don't think the school should be coming into especially stuff like that when it comes to somebody's kids. Like, imagine you found out somebody was hiding something like that about your kids.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It'd be up.
Okay, I'm glad that was an actual realistic version of that conversation. Like that looked real. Like most of the stuff as far as like it doesn't surprise me Gavin Newsom made passed that law. He's actually been on that same track about like since 2020.
Yeah, but again, I think that he's like that other name that you often hear. But I think that he's gonna be having a hard time just because he has to answer for a lot of California's different policies that, as we talked before, like I think the left is split in the idea that there is like the social justice side and then there's like the LGBTQ side, and they don't necessarily see eye to eye. And I think that he would probably force them to have more conversations that with just making Trump the enemy makes it easier to kind of like, we'll push that down the road. But yeah, all right, we can get into these to these memes though. I got more lighthearted ones. Could you go to my actual messages? I don't think the ones that I sent.
Hey, Keith.
Coffee
bag.
Please.
But just stay out of the camera, please.
Hey,
I knew that was coming,
bro. Hey, so we would also like to give a long time.
Yeah, give it to me.
Yeah, I'm about to say we'd like to give a happy birthday to one of the homies.
Happy birthday, brother.
Birthday, Keith.
He's the audience member right now. Keith Eason. He just turned 42.
Something like
that. All right, bet. Shout out to him. Graduating class 98.
Oh God.
Shout out that boy Keith.
Did Bankhead bounce?
Hey, you want to come get a video, bro? You want
with 2 chains?
Come show
scroll up some, Tone. It'll be Facebook. Go to that one right there, Drewski. This was funny. I think this was hilarious. Love to get y'all opinion.
Oh my God.
Let me see the braid. Okay.
Yeah, they teeny tiny.
Well, I thought you was a street nigga. Teeny tiny.
Yeah, the braids, they teeny tiny.
That ain't no word no street nigga use. Yeah, lisp. Street nigga don't have lisp, though. That nigga got a street nigga costume on, nigga. Got him. I knew he wasn't a street nigga, man.
I couldn't rap. I'm gonna spit a little bit.
Spit a little bit.
Yeah, spit a little bit.
You said spit. Go ahead and spit, nigga.
You make you clap, but I bring them choppers down. Pussy nigga gone.
Okay, hold on now. You said she.
You want me?
Do what you do. Just be honest.
Do what I do. Though.
Yeah, be honest, be honest.
She make it clap,
She?
but I bring him. He make it clap, but I bring him choppers down. Pussy nigga go.
You make that wave. You gotta do
That's
that.
the end of
I
it.
got braids.
Let me see the braid.
I got braid.
I got braids. What do y'all think? That was hilarious to me.
Bro, as soon as I saw that one time before, as soon as I saw that, I chat GPT, why do a lot of gay people have lists? I got a very convoluted answer. I can't re-report, but you know what I'm saying.
Oh no. Oh, okay. I got one more. It'll be more. Well, no, this is probably a good artist question. It's if you go back to the messages,
Yeah.
and scroll up, it'll be Andre 3000. Go to there. This might be, if this is quick, I got one more, but if not, it's cool.
Like my music, which is hilarious to me. Like one of my homies told me, like after I finished Hey Ya and I played it for him, he said, man, if you put that out, man, your career is over. And in my mind, I'm like, damn, but I like this shit though. Like my friends don't always like my music, which is hilarious.
As a retired local rapper, in a room full of other creatives, some retired, some active, I feel like this is almost like its own innate experience that everybody ends up having, where, you know, like there's going to be sometimes your friends fuck with your shit, sometimes they don't, and you have to like make those like hard decisions where like, is this the avenue, is this a song, is this the record that I want to go with, is this the creative direction I want to go with? And maybe I should listen. Maybe they have like really good opinions. Maybe these things matter, and it ends up being like its own juggle. I'll talk to the NiGE first, and then I think it'd be good for everybody to kind of go around. If you agree, disagree, what's your thoughts on the meme?
I mean, directly on that specific topic, I want my friends to be like this. Tell me when it's whack, but always encourage me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I can't do anything with, you know what I'm saying, false gas, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's the biggest.
So like my thing, I just want my friends to support what I do, and I want everybody to be realistic with me. But as far as like having that like affect my artistry, like bro, I always made different stuff, so it's depends.
So how do you deal with if like you play something for a friend and be like, I don't know, that ain't really it, but like this is what you like, nah, I'm about to drop this.
Nah, this
I still do that shit. I'll be like, that's one person's opinion. Like I might, depending on the person, let's say if I'm trying to make some shit that like, you know, like let's say if it's some shit I want girls to react to. If I play it for a girl and she don't fuck with it, then I'm gonna be like, all right, man, I'm gonna think about it. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? But you know.
Okay. Real.
Yeah. So I've had scenarios. I think we all kind of have had scenarios. Like you said, I really, when I was rapping, or when I was, you know, when I was rapping, I really wanted an honest opinion. But I could see where I did have one of the homies. It's almost like it's a balance that you have to kind of have, because I had one homie that was like, I don't know if you remember the song Black. He was like, nah, that's the one right there. And he kept like, you need to get that energy back. That's what you need to keep doing. Yeah. That's the feel you need to keep going with. And it literally like that helped in like derailing me for even wanting to do it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like me trying to recreate, that's not how it came to begin with. You know what I mean? But I think that there is, like you said, you I think you made that was a flawless take. Like as far as wanting them to give you honest answers, but also just being supportive. You know what I mean? I think that's the best way you can kind of word it. That resonated with me.
Yeah, and I guess just to go to what you said, and then I'm gonna throw the tone, and then Johnny, you got have experiences within it.
I mean, I've done art and stuff, music. I mean, I ain't specifically a
rapper. As a friend, though, how do you feel as a friend?
Oh yeah,
giving advice to you.
As a friend,
do you sugarcoat it?
No, I tell people what I think about it. I mean, if I don't like it, I try to have a constructive criticism. I don't just want to be like, yeah, you suck, bro. Yeah. And, I mean, sometimes, hey, bro,
would you be like, that song kind of sucked, bro?
That song, or sometimes like if your friends aren't doing stuff, sometimes it might help to tell them, hey, you know, maybe you try something else. But I think you should always be real.
Wait, say
and it depends on your personality of your friend too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. If they talk shit, then I mean, it won't hurt as much.
Yeah, no, like it's almost ingrained. Like, okay, they're gonna give me like a good blunt take.
And that's probably the reason why you come. Yeah, I was about to say that's probably the reason why you pick that person to even hear it, because you feel that that's like the best or most authentic opinion you can get from specific people.
Yeah, and I wanted to go back to, it was a statement that you said that reminded me. It was something random that I seen. It might have been like a jazz musician or it was somebody, and they made this statement where you was talking about like you had a friend that kept wanting you to recreate this specific thing, right? To where he was almost trying to like make this the style of record that you was making,
right.
In which it was a jazz musician. I wish I could remember exactly who it was. I'm gonna just like say Dizzy Gillespie right now. We're gonna pretend it was Dizzy Gillespie that said it. But he said that style is like a cage for creativity. Where like once you develop a style, now you're locked in that, and you're it's almost formatic. Like you're just following like a like a routine to an extent. Where real creativity, well, even if that's inside like the 16 bar, 32 bar structured hook XYZ. It ends up being limiting to what the creative process can actually be.
I got a question to that.
Okay.
All right. So in Miles Davis' autobiography, he talked about one of his mentors. I think it was like Coltrane. Somebody who was a little older than him. Just talking to him about being good, but then developing your own tone, like your voice. And it made me think about that, but it also, I can see how that could be limiting, but then also I think about like as an artist, when it comes to like branding yourself or like providing yourself to the public, or maybe like packaging yourself as a product, it is very like the ones that last long are the ones that have a consistent, if not style, a theme, like a spirit about what they do. Like Bruno Mars, I mean, he makes all types of stuff, but he has a same type of like energy, what he wants to do, like you know, his same energy, same theme, you know. I don't know, that's how I feel. Like
no, I think that there's value in both, but I do think that ends up being the downfall of a lot of rappers, especially like the one hit wonder ones that kind of end up like going through the process of trying to recreate that same hit, and then they never able to like blossom, and they were only good for like that one thing, and that's the only thing that they end up being like the linchpin to like their entire career.
And I think it's funny, like as an artist, it's like a double. You want to get opinions, but then opinions kind of will dull in your creativity. So it's like you really don't want to do it, but you want to do it because as a creative, you want people to love what you do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's one of those weird spaces to be in.
That's the field, bro. Like that's where the lion heart kind of has to come out, or just as facts like what do you want to do with it? You know what I'm saying? Because depending on what you want to do with it, can we cuss?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck what other people say. You know what I'm saying? But like, let's say if you are trying to like, okay, I'm trying to make some money off of this, I'm trying to get here, then
you
but like,
I mean, also I think it goes back to like how much you believe in yourself. Like, no matter who it is, if like one person doesn't like it, do you believe in yourself enough to like put it out there again to see who else might like it? And like Andre 3000, he clearly put the song out, and it did his career, and so.
It probably was one of his biggest,
one of his biggest, and that goes to show you that
especially
sometimes
with the video,
an opinion can come from an opinion can come from like a good spot, but it's like,
well, it's a real opinion, but especially if you're looking to push the lines, like he's looking to push something like the lines where like something different means that it's going to naturally challenge, and especially if you're doing something outside the box, you can almost guarantee that you're going to have some people that's like, I don't know,
and especially if you in the hood. Especially if you in the hood, it's like the hood tells you this is the box that you must fit in. You know what I mean? You can't be accepted if you go outside of this. So niggas gonna look at you a certain type of way. So like amongst our community, especially men, like there's a specific way, especially as you're growing up, there's a specific way that you have to be. Otherwise, like this nigga's just over there. You know what I mean?
Oh, tell me about it.
Oh yeah.
Johnny and NiGE probably it's a 2-for-2 now.
Are we the suburban niggas?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it
is. Suburban. Yeah.
Welcome to our world. See how you ended up on our side?
Hey, this is true.
It ain't bad over here.
No, shout out QJ. QJ gonna be a suburban night. I'm a suburban.
It ain't bad over here. We got good snacks. You know.
Hey, no, it ain't too far because I think a nigga about sleep standing up at the store earlier.
Oh yeah, shout out Almar Road. I like Almar Road because I get to see all the brother poets.
Oh yeah, hey, his knee was bleeding like he had already failed right before I pulled up.
Yeah,
this nigga was over there slumped, standing up. I was like, oh yeah,
motherfucker fell asleep standing up and then stood back up.
Oh, he was high as shit. He wasn't asleep. He was high.
Johnny, who next? I'm done. I threw my towel in.
Oh,
that's real.
Okay, where we at, bro? I had a go to, what is his name? Something 42 Doug, I believe his name.
Oh, that's my dog.
That first one.
Yeah, I rock with
bottom.
too.
The voice. It's something about if you got the right voice.
Yeah.
Since we on some rap or artists,
it's been a decline in beats. Like the beats ain't really been. That's how I feel. The beats ain't really been like hard. When we get in that bitch, we be like, bro, it takes so long to find a good beat. It used to, we go on that bitch like, but it's a whole new wave now. So it's like you trying to catch the new wave, and you don't want to sound the same. Like you don't want to keep giving these people the same thing. And it's like they don't know if they want the same thing or they don't. I feel like it's been a deep.
Yeah, like
producers.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. You know, everybody.
He got some fire too. Like his production.
42 Doug. Yeah. Oh, all CMG.
Quality. But like even
the producers suck now.
No, I think that what it. I don't know exactly.
He's just saying that the wave is changing from what he's.
I think he's trying to catch the wave. It's kind of
That means you're bad as a rapper if you can't.
No, bro. I'm telling you, if you listen to it, like anybody which we all know, if you was a rapper, like you done surf to YouTube like a motherfucker. So like if you go back and surf YouTube prior, and then I don't know if you've surfed the Kendrick Drake Joe. I've seen increase in like the beats that I love to feel. But before it seemed like that shit was trash, bro. I couldn't find a beat for nothing.
You know what?
Like literally was trying to write for like the last like year and a half.
You talking about ever since like the beats came out from the beef, like the like that beat and then the other beat.
Yeah.
You know what I think, bro? I thought about this when I was thinking about the like that beat and the other one. Samples are the best beats ever in hip hop. Are always like samples, bro. I feel like samples.
It's a lot of my favorites.
And I think that what's happening right now is, bro, like it's programmed. Everything's programming. So like a lot of cats, I feel like a lot of, just like it got really easy for a rapper to be a rapper, it got super easy for a producer to be a producer. And some cats just are able to make that repetitive stuff.
And the thing is that like there's a difference between a producer and a nigga that make beats.
And a musician too.
Right.
And
some musicians, they got the computer. I'd rather work with a musician.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
As long as you can control them.
Yeah, I was about to say musicians be trying to do too much.
No, I'm talking about somebody who is like an engineer or a producer who actually is a musician.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
who loves making music.
That, yeah.
And that's their thing.
Oh no, I agree. I guess what probably all of us are saying is that if you got like a really good musician and like you just sitting down making a beat with them, they kind of want to like make their talent shine, if that makes sense. Where like simplicity, like a lot of times ends up being what makes good beats. Like it's layered, but it's simple
and it's space.
Yeah, and it's space for the artist. Where like they're gonna be like, it's gonna be riffs on the chords. It's gonna be riffs on the bass line. It's gonna be riffs on just about everything.
But you know, I will say this, man. A lot of it's on the artist, because I even think about like how like I made all types of different types of songs, and like it all started from me writing a song and then going in and building something around that. And the song is not cookie cutter. And I think the artists don't lend any favors to the producer because everybody's rapping in the same cadence all the time. So who's gonna switch it up? You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh no, I agree. I think maybe that might be a different thing. But also shout out NiGE. NiGE was we'll get into this a little bit later, but like during the era of like the early, what was that 2012, 13? Where like to be a rapper, you kind of had to be able to make your own beats sometimes. You had to be able to present your own ideas, write your own records, obviously. But I remember like you always would have like your you used to call them the loops.
Yeah, the loops.
Yeah, the loops back in the day where you have the sample that you kind of want to kind of rock with.
Yeah.
And yeah, shout out to that. But real.
I guess I'm gonna go with one more. I believe this is a more serious one. You could just click the one above that one with two ladies.
All right.
I don't remember what it was, but I know it's gonna probably be.
We are women that actually get to live on our own,
bro,
for the first time in like history.
Bro, I literally saw a girl.
Pause it.
We.
I'm gonna play this during Johnny's. I'll submit my time now, and I'm gonna play that during Johnny's question.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay. All right.
My bad.
Is that like a cliffhanger? What is that called inside? Like
foreshadow.
Do we have any mass comm majors in here?
Right.
What
God bless them if they are. Wait, my bad. I'm a history major, so like, I mean, shoot, I'm just saying, like, hey man,
that sound like a.
Hey, they looked at you. I don't know why they looked at you.
Hey, it was Q snitched you out.
Talk about the economy.
Nobody would have known if Q didn't snitch you out.
I ain't saying that. That's look over there. What you got for us?
Oh, it's Johnny next.
Yeah, it's Johnny. What you got for us, Johnny?
I'm gonna start off with something light.
Don't start light, bro. We've been light the whole time.
Damn. Don't let him bully you in the way.
Bro, he's trying to get you to submit, bro.
I think he wants you to start with a Bible verse or something like that.
I ain't bring my sword.
Hallelujah.
Hey, but top right corner. This shit is funny. I see this boy.
Oh, I see.
That's why you got to stay out people's refrigerator.
How y'all eating cereal with no milk? I'm saying yesterday I used the rest of the milk for my cereal. Wasn't no more milk in there. Nah, that's not the right milk that you got in that jar right there. Saying your auntie Cletus upstairs right now. That's her breast milk, man.
Jeez.
Auntie Cletus?
That's your auntie Cletus breast milk. Yeah, that's what y'all get. Y'all always going there touching stuff y'all ain't supposed to be touching. Y'all just drunk a whole mouthful of breast milk. Ain't none of that. Y'all thought that was regular milk. Why y'all think it's in that container? She pump her milk before she go to bed. She got to make sure she good for her baby and stuff. Her baby got to drink the milk so she can stay healthy. She don't drink the regular milk and stuff. She's breast milk. That's why it's in that container. It's not in the jug. So yeah, y'all got your Auntie Cleta's titties all in your mouth. Titties. Her titties look like California raisins too. She ain't. So I don't know what to tell you. You might as well eat it now.
You already ate it.
I might as well eat it. I don't know what y'all sitting there staring at me like that for. Y'all might as well eat it, man. Y'all stop touching stuff. Ask questions first. Y'all ain't never seen me put milk in the refrigerator like that. Yeah, it's always in a container.
Look at them, they sick too.
Always in a container. Y'all gonna go to get your bowls. Get y'all bowls up too. Put your bowls up. Clean your mess up. Get your bowls up. I don't know what y'all look at them. They mad now because they got titty y'all.
And then the baby walked in.
It's like y'all drinking my milk.
Hey, that's why you gotta stay out of people's refrigerator and quit touching shit.
But why is her name Cletus?
That's what I'm wondering, bro.
I'm gonna guess maybe it's a nickname.
But that's a fucked up nickname.
It is.
That's crazy.
Bro, that was.
But I guarantee you, if you've seen her, it might make sense.
Yeah, we don't know what state.
Yeah, we don't know what she look like. We don't know what Auntie look like.
Hey, but shout out Mama Ty. Shout out all the women that's breastfeeding them babies.
Real natural.
Yep.
Natural or selling it. She might be selling it.
Doing God's work.
I heard
What y'all would have did? What would have what y'all would have did?
What?
You would have accidentally.
Bro, if it tasted good the whole time,
I would have been.
especially if she was sexy too.
Sexy, huh?
No, yeah, I'm not drinking. Yeah,
member, bro.
No.
Oh man,
That's your little cousin's milk, bro.
bro, I would have ate the milk. I would have ate it. Shit.
I kept going, bro. Yellow.
What's next, Johnny?
Let me get Money Man in the middle. I think this is a good one.
What, suicide ideation?
No, Money Man.
Below that.
You can't trust nobody who don't admit when they wrong. How can you trust that person? They don't admit when they wrong, so that means they cool with you going in the wrong direction. That's crazy, right?
They ain't gonna say
nothing. So they're gonna watch you self-destruct or fail. I peep that. I'll be like, okay, damn, you ain't gonna admit when you made a mistake. Oh yeah, I can't with you.
That's a big red flag too. You know what I mean?
Huge red flag.
A huge red flag.
Yeah.
Like you know you dead ass wrong.
And you gonna keep this going. When you wrong, you admit it because you was wrong.
Yeah.
And then you make it right. Then people trust you because they know you being honest. You can't trust nobody who don't admit when they wrong. How can you trust that person? They don't admit when they wrong, so that means they cool with you going in the wrong direction. That's crazy, right?
They ain't gonna say
nothing. So they're gonna watch you self-destruct or fail. I peep that. I'll be like, okay, damn, you ain't gonna admit when you made a mistake.
It started over.
That was fire though. Yeah.
No, I think that's because I mean you can even see this when like not even somebody do you wrong, but you can watch somebody like dealing with another person, and if you see them do something wrong to somebody else, and then they try to justify it to you, then you know that's gonna be something that's coming towards you in the future.
Yeah,
and it's gonna end up you gonna be in that situation. So that's definitely something to
I feel like bullshit begets bullshit. So you might have, you know what I'm saying. So like you just you're gonna drive yourself crazy if you come correct and they not coming correct. Like if you always on time and they always late, you know what I'm saying. That's only gonna slow you down. I don't know, you know.
And I agree a lot with what he's saying too. But a lot of people have the idea or they believe that like I treat people I'll treat or I'll befriend someone and it's all based in like my relationship with them, not how they treat other people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of people will say that like I take them at face value. How our relationship don't have nothing to do with the relationships they have with other people. And I would say like I can understand there's some truth to that, but I'm not a person that like I don't want friends that bad. You know what I mean? So like I got homies that like if you my homie, I see that you treat people good. You treat people good, and the expectation is that we gonna have the same. You know what I mean? So like I don't need no new friends and shit. Like so, it's not that big a deal for me to befriend you. We can be cool, but I ain't gonna necessarily have you in my circle if I know that you don't treat people good, even if you treat me all right. You know what I mean?
That self-assuredness allows you to have boundaries and be intentional about who you let in your world.
Right.
It takes some maturity to get there too, you know.
Yeah. And I guess to build on where he was at, I think y'all kind of like packed up what he specifically said. Something else that I do pay attention to when it comes to people and conversations and different things like that that I think is an important piece is paying attention to how people deal with new information. Like if you have an opinion and then new information is presented to you, like do you just like ignore all of that and be like
stand where you were?
Yeah, just like stay. Do you intake it? Do you digest it? Do you like, you know what I mean? Even if you just like, do you acknowledge it?
You feel like if somebody who doesn't do that, you feel like they're not worth being your associate?
I don't know. Like to me, it's just like a character trait that I can pay attention to, because that does denote a certain level of stubbornness. It denotes like a certain level of like certain things that you can predict certain actions. If that
Could it
makes sense.
also signify loyalty, possibly?
Or stupidity?
No, because sometimes like that's a
to an
conversation,
opinion.
the line between loyalty and stupidity. But I mean, even if you look at most group dynamics, you're gonna see somebody who's it's a line, because you're gonna need some blind loyalty to have loyalty. You're gonna have to put some blinders up. Typically,
I see
you're
what you
saying.
said.
You're saying loyalty is like it's a faith thing. It was like
there's
it's
a
a
certain
trust thing, and you might end up looking stupid being loyal to somebody.
Yeah,
I agree with that 100%, bro.
yeah, but you like something that you said made me actually think of loyalty, and what you were just describing. So I'm sorry if I derailed it, but
Oh no, I think that was a good response.
It was,
I was just intaking what you were saying.
Okay,
to be honest, I
It's
don't have,
almost
like, a
it
specific-
sounds like loyalty to a fault.
That's a whole big convo. Yeah, you learn, but honestly, that's where it comes.
But how
from,
good
looking
did-
at how people.
I don't know. I don't know if like somebody that's just loyal to specific ideas and opinions. That probably be somebody that I probably would push, but I don't
That's
know.
why I said
because
stupidity, because like sometimes
I retract that, because of one thing I do really appreciate with people though is having strong opinions and being able to like actually have an opinion on a thing. Because to me there's a value, because then now you have a perspective, whatever that said opinion is. But I do think that it is important to see how a person can maneuver and operate when given new information. Yes.
Well, no, I was gonna say like, but sometimes people process information at different speeds.
That's also true.
So just because you're presented information, you might not process it at the same.
Oh yeah, and this doesn't have to be like over like immediate, like over like an extended period.
So sometimes it's not even the fact that they don't want to process it. Sometimes, and depending on how they get to information, sometimes the processing don't. I'm a person. I usually don't process information, especially if it's like bad news or something. It usually take me a day. I usually probably got to go to sleep, wake up, and then think about it. And then sometimes it takes me a process takes me a while to process stuff. So it's not that I don't want to, I don't want to be stubborn, or I don't want to be loyal to this idea. It's just I ain't.
You just like white women.
I ain't.
And also how invested somebody is in.
I get a haircut. This man been.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, it's also how invested they are in their values, because a lot of times at the end of the day, people put their lives, the whole concept of living in their values, and that
Very
might be
much true.
children, religion, things like that. So in any scenario, valuing these things over something else might be like ludicrous, you know what I'm saying? But because like mother's love, like there's certain like, is that, you know what I'm saying? You can't knock it, but like, dang, like
There's some blind loyalty.
there's
that
some
comes
blind
with it.
loyalty to it, you know what I'm saying?
But I think it's a difference between like blind loyalty and like unconditional love. Like a mother's not blindly loyal to their kid. That's like just an unconditional love type of thing.
I seen some mothers, I don't know, bro.
So like, what's like the differentiating factor of that?
Delusion.
Because like I could love somebody unconditionally, but like at a certain point, I'm not gonna deal with you. It's like there's a certain point. There's a cut as a mother and a child. Like I don't know if there's that cutoff period.
I think it's like blind loyalty. I think
blind loyalty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where are you making it different?
So, but I think the difference is at least my interpretation of how to differentiate the two is that blind or unconditional love also comes with accountability. Like blind loyalty is just I'm on your side regardless whether you're right or wrong. Yeah. Unconditional love is like, nah, you got to wear that. And it's healthy for you to wear that.
The mother is and I think accountability and responsibility. I think that's where it comes together for a mother. It's like that unconditional and then responsibility, because at the end of the day, if you really love your child, you're going to steer that child to where they should be. You know what I'm saying? I think it's selfish if you don't. And most mothers, I mean, let me not touch that.
It sounded like you was finna goddamn jump in a goddamn hole somewhere.
Tone, you got a meme for us?
I actually got a couple if y'all got some time.
Yeah, we got some time.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. This one was just funny, so I'll share this one first.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's facts.
Yeah.
You said what?
Let's see how to get it right. Oh, shoot, it ain't.
Flats. Then you got the other side. Well, I only do drums. That is the same damn piece of chicken. What's wrong with y'all? You ain't never went and got a whole wing, ate half the wing, and been like, "Hey, take this drum part because I don't want nothing to do with that." You eat the whole damn piece of chicken. It's not two different pieces of chicken. And stop trying to let them get you on certain days. On Tuesdays, we got 10 pieces half off. That ain't 10 pieces of chicken, my boy. That is 5 pieces of chicken that they done broke in half. Really, it ain't even 5 pieces of chicken because where the back of the wing at, huh? Where the back of the wing at? It still has some feathers hanging out of it. Where that's at? They take that off. So in reality, that's 33 plus 33. That's 66% of the chicken, and we done let them fool us. They got to give us the rest of our damn chicken. I'm sick. As soon as restaurants try this again with me, we're going to have a problem. Let the order come up to be $30. I'm going to give your ass 15.
Hey.
Why you only give me $15? You owe 15. No, I don't, because you only gave me half the chicken. So if I got $30 worth of chicken, that's $15 worth of chicken. That's what the reality of it is. You think you can pimp me? Well, shit, I'm going to pimp you. We both going to be in here mad today. Now give me my half of chicken. Dumb shit. I'm tired of people trying to play with me in 2023. Give me all of my shit for all of my money. Hey, now that is funny. Hey, Johnny, ain't you an all drumstick guy?
I never said all drums, but I do like drums better than flats.
That's why you.
So you're an all drums guy.
I like both.
But if you like one better than the other one, why you don't just get what you like most?
Because I like balance too, big dog.
Oh, okay.
What exotic flavors you like, Johnny? Tell them about the exotic flavor wings you be eating, bro. Tell them about them exotic wings you be eating, bro. They don't know about them flavors you be eating.
But Johnny,
bro.
I'm on your side. I like a nice drum before I like a flat.
Y'all like the drums before flats?
Yeah,
I prefer a drum over flats. Yeah,
I feel like I get more flavor from the flats, and I feel like that big meaty part on the drumstick, unless it's like cooked very very well, sometimes it's kind of like drier for me. You know,
well, I mean, but that's of course we're talking about well cooked wings. Like they're badly cooked. Like who knows?
I don't know. I like the flavor, so it's like that to me. That's just more real estate, less flavor. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I will say badly cooked wings. I'm gonna take the flat for sure.
It's harder to get the drumsticks to be crispy too, like when you bite into them.
But if it's well cooked, I'm going drumstick.
Also, the drums are like
good flavor too.
Yeah. Well, it's quicker. It's like you can one hand a drum and you can just like
if it's
get
breaded,
it done. Like you can eat a drum on the run. Like you can't eat a flat.
Bro, all you gotta do is but you ain't never nigga.
I know what you're talking about, but it's not as easy as the drum. It's a whole bunch of extra steps you got to take.
All right, come on, fella. Let's push forward. We're talking about eating wings.
Nah, this is almost some wings right now,
bro. For real.
Okay, so this is a meme I saw. It kind of hit me because I actually was in this situation before. But yeah, you ain't struggled until you sleep in somebody's house knowing they don't want you there. Yo, that feeling there. But it also got me to thinking though, like, why do people glamorize struggle? Like, or why is it like a thing in the Black community that we glamorize struggle? Because like even that saying like you ain't struggled till you like why we glamorize and stuff like that? I kind of think about that. Like,
well, I don't know. I'm not trying to answer your question, but this is something I've been saying for a minute, fellas. Do not move the fuck in.
Oh, if you dating a girl,
don't move in, bro. Any nigga that done moved in done been put out before. And they're gonna put you out on the 7th.
The 7th? What's this?
Right after you paid the rent.
After you paid the rent. They gonna put you out on the 7th.
You paid the rent.
Man, that's why you gotta have like somewhere else, but then like you gotta have a place where you can crash that you don't pay rent, and then you gotta go to her spot. This is back in the day. Not now, but in general, you gotta, if you know you're gonna play that game, you gotta have a fallback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't just play that, go all in, move in with a chick,
You don't wear it.
But I don't know. I feel like the struggle is when I hear that, I feel like it's actually kind of more motivating. I think it's motivating because I think a lot of people have slept on somebody. If I'm sleeping on somebody's couch right now and I look at that, I mean, I don't feel bad. To me, I feel like maybe more like affirmed.
Go back, scroll back up to the meme. And I guess I don't look at that as specifically like the glorification meme right there, where it's saying, and usually I guess when people are speaking about the struggle, that's not the struggle that they're usually talking about.
Yeah,
they're typically talking about when they grew up in like an oblivious kid in the hood, and like the things that they kind of peripherally seen when it came to growing up, whether it was like your mama heating next over the food stamps, or you know what I mean, just like the random shit that happens outside.
To me, I don't like. To me, a lot of that stuff that kind of bothers me when they say black grandmas like be like black household, like because it's to me it's so limiting because bro, like I'm like the third.
Could you say that one time?
So like when they be like black grandmas, like for example, Reggie, you know Reggie Angelou from Central. Shout out. She's like my.
Oh yeah, I know you.
Shout out to her. She posted this thing. It was funny. She was in someone's house and she was like every black person's grandma's crib, and I was just thinking like I recognize where she's coming from, but like a lot of that stuff, those type of memes and stuff like that, I can't relate to, and I know hundreds of other black people that don't relate to that. So I think it does kind of like lowers expectations for us. You know what I'm saying? What people think of us. So like I could say for me, like there's nobody talking about like they look down on if somebody's suburban, like they want to like, you know what I'm saying, downplay any type of like modest.
Are you looking at me?
Downplay any type of modest type of living, or like even celebrating to see that, hey, that suburban maybe 2 generations ago or a generation ago was in the hood. So I think there's this whole, it comes with like just glorifying crime, which is not all our.
I think it's like a coping mechanism. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's something that a lot of us, like the majority of the black population, was in. Like, there's some sheets in your house that you've seen at everybody. There's particular things that you've seen. You know what I mean? And the majority of us haven't been in that scenario. It's like a you know what I mean? It's a coping mechanism. It's something that we can laugh. You know what I mean? I understand when you're not in you don't get the joke. I understand that it's not cool not to get the joke,
but I feel like it's a whole lot of people who weren't in that. They just want to be black too. And
there are a lot.
Like to me, I think it's an assumption of it's like putting the culture in a monolith. And a lot of people, just like the do-rag fest, everybody out there wearing like gold teeth, and half of them people they ain't got no aunties that look like BAP. So when they talk about cultural appropriation, like it's all of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, yo, you're from the suburbs, bro. Like,
I know what NiGE said. He's saying like, even if you're from the suburbs or you didn't come from the hood, your experience as a black person is still the same. It's still, you were still black in this country.
Yeah, but it's not.
But you're not any less black. And people.
No, it's not about less black. See what it is. It sounds like you in your feelings because you don't know the song "Lying by the Crib."
Oh, fuck the song.
Shout out to Pastor Troy, man.
Yeah,
you see what I'm doing? It's the same thing.
I do want to get into this before because it sounds like. Go ahead.
I'm saying the same thing. It's like the idea you just don't know you don't know the song, so you feel a way you feel left out. If at the end of the day, I feel like, oh, go ahead.
That's not it, man. It's not like I feel like that's like him playing a song that he don't know, and then him playing a song that he likes that might not be in the wheelhouse of hood, and everybody in that spot dismissing it, dissing it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a matter of like, oh, 2 different worlds and he wants to be a part of that. It's like we're in a culture where we seem to want to glorify, we want to be associated with at the lowest level, poverty, criminality. You know what I'm saying?
And that was really my whole point of presenting this post. Like we have kids making songs now talking about they struggled and everything, and they grew up like it's become a thing. Even in our generation, we grew up and that was actually like the way people was living with certain stuff, and they was talking about how they was living. But now you have people who are not talking about how they grew up. They grew up fine. They was taken care of by their parents. They ate. They didn't have no. They might have ate. They might not have had dinner one night because their mama said you was acting up, you going to bed without dinner, and now they in the song. Nights I had to go to sleep without dinner.
I mean, Biggie,
like bro.
Example, like Biggie wasn't like when they talk about. I mean, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, I guess the one thing that I wanted to hit on that you said that I thought was interesting, but it was an observation that I had before, Well, you made the example of Do-Rag Fest and the cultural appropriation within Black community in itself, and where there was a time where I think, like in general, the art scene in Charlotte, I kind of had to, and by art, just meaning like all of the creatives inside, like the general sphere, whether you rap, poetry, I had to kind of like take a step back from, because there was a space that I started feeling that exact thing, where it felt like there was a appropriation from people that were probably from, like, grew up in the suburbs of like gang and hood culture, in which, to me, there was profiting off of it and it was making it cool and safe, but it was appropriation at its finest, because it was people that never lived this experience presenting things that people get killed off of. And I'm like, oh wait, that's kind of nasty. That's the shit that I be seeing us talk about white people doing.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing us do that to ourselves in almost like a intra-colonization type shit. I don't know. It was just a weird thing.
I think that is partly because of just marketing. You know what I'm saying? I think we have a time where we have people becoming more like socially conscious, you know what I'm saying, with all these things. And I think it's people just riding waves and go. I don't know. I think a lot of it's marketing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I seen them, like
I
people that I assumed was like, I got to let me land this though. When I started seeing like people that I was just making assumptions were suburbanites having like gang themed parties, I was like, tap out button.
Oh, I ain't seen that. That's crazy.
I haven't seen that specific, but I know what you're talking about when it comes to like the Do-Rag Fest and like the gold teeth and stuff. And but that's not the same as like when a white person comes into the community and actually like.
It's still, I think that's
it's
one.
Let him finish his thought. Hold on, I want to hear.
Like it's not the same. Like when another Black person is coming in and trying to do business with other Black people.
We're not talking about doing business.
You talking about profiting it, and they were doing,
but at the same,
working with other people,
exploiting. Is that what when you say business? You're talking about exploiting.
You think the Do-Rag Fest was exploitive of Black, or do you think?
I don't think that was the point that he was landing.
That's not what they. I'm not trying to.
He wasn't landing at Do-Rag Fest was exploitative. He was landing at the fact of they're exploiting culture that they'd never lived.
And I'm asking, why are they doing that? Are they doing that specifically to take advantage, or are they doing it to try to?
I think that's why I say marketing. Like in a sense, like a lot of this stuff is marketing. Not even it's like even I'm not in the heads of people who put that together, but I wouldn't say they're doing it from a negative perspective. But they also, it's commercialism. So I do think that we should consider that in comparison to when white people appropriate culture, so we can have a synthesis of how we judge each other. Because just because a white person is using, I mean, at the end of the day, most of this stuff is sponsored by somebody who owns stuff that's white. But so if we got to recognize the congruency, so we're not just vilifying all white people, and then also we can kind of police Black behavior as well. And I love Do-Rag Fest. Like they're not one of that, but I do recognize the marketability and like, shoot, why not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I think that this is a
got some good comments here real quick, just to read out.
Okay.
I don't think anyone look down on people that are suburban, but I believe that people that are from the suburbs fake it and try to act hood. De La Soul was not from the hood, and they did not ever rap about hood things. Most rappers rap fake hood life and go back to their mom and daddy's big house.
Probably. And I guess like if you went to a HBCU, you've probably seen this trope more times than not. Where hey, actually, again, shout out to NiGE. Nigel is definitely somebody that, from when I first seen and met him at Central to now, he's been organically, genuinely himself, unapologetically.
Good, bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, but like he's never attempted to pretend to be a thing that he wasn't. In which you also will have like friends or people within your circle when you go to school. That you say this a lot about, like when you go to the military, where they kind of like bring on a whole new persona once they get there, or they attempt to like dive into like some of these negative like hood tropes and shit like that,
right?
And then you find out, be like, wait, that's oh, all right, I get what's happening here. Yeah,
you just watch some good movies.
Oh, you hung like once you got to school, you hung around some of the niggas that was smoking black and white.
I think it's culture and self-esteem.
Yeah,
but if we have like everybody wants to fit in, unfortunately, we have a youth culture where the cool thing is, if you're black, like if you're white and you look at hip hop, you know that it's not you. But if you're a lot of people who are young from the hood, black, poor, they think that it's them. But then everybody has low self-esteem. We're all building that up. So it doesn't help. So we go to these things to build ourselves up.
Yeah. And I guess that was actually a good perspective where I don't necessarily want to completely retract it, but a good nuance to make sure to put in perspective is that these are probably also these, like, well, let's say like the suburban blacks that grew up inside, like went to primarily white schools, XYZ, and they're going to HBCU. This is like their first time being surrounded, and they might just be trying to assimilate the best that they can. And this is like their actual first understanding of finding themselves within black culture as black culture is. So yeah, I think I think
and I just want to add something to that too, and like just real quick. And like a lot of time, those same people, they're coming from predominantly white institutions where they got treated like they weren't good enough. And then you come into black space, and it's the same type of feeling where you get to where and the black people start treating you, oh, you're not good enough because you're not XYZ, or you didn't live in this neighborhood, you didn't come from that. And I think those are the feelings as black people we have to watch out and not make sure we put on other black people.
But to me, it sounds like because when you think of black culture, and we keep talking about culture, it sounds like that the poorer side of it is what we consider black culture. And so we're not including the other side. So I think we actually have to define what the fuck black culture is, because you can't say black culture only is the negative side of our existence.
The crazy part about it is most of the stuff that everybody else does is black culture. Like it's like we invented everything, then people steal it and they claim it like it's theirs. And we look at that as like it's white culture, it's suburban or something, but it's some stuff we made up in the first place. Like country music. We made country music. That was us. Rock and roll, that was us.
When I listen to rock and roll, man, like I know I'm listening to white people, but I know I'm listening to our shit. Not that it really matters, but I take pride listening to rock and roll because I know we invented that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's like you said, bro, it's a lot of it's social, economic, and just kind of what you're aware of. And just, I mean, bro, at Central, I knew a lot of people who are from the hood that like after a while, or maybe from the beginning, like they respected me and they gave me that respect. I think you just gotta like respect yourself, you know what I'm saying, and not be stupid and try to.
I think everybody respects a genuine person.
Yeah.
That ends up being like the best thing is that like if I feel like you're genuinely you, typically most people are able to kind of like maneuver through different spaces and different crowds as long as you're that thing.
Genuinely,
but a lot of people, as you said, like you hit a good thing. I think we ignore the fact that most teens, kids going up to college have low self-esteem. They don't know who the fuck they are, and they're still trying to find themselves.
Yeah.
And like finding somebody that is like confident and genuine in who they are is probably like more of an outlier than like a norm.
No, that's facts.
Man, it's crazy you just said that. I wasn't trying to go here, but I just want to share a positive thing I seen this week, and I thought
I care about all young people. I don't care what your race, your gender, your class, your creed. I work with all young people. That's the universal auntie spirit. But I'm gonna tell you, as a black woman, I have a special passion for the development of black men, and I'm allowed to do that, right? We can all belong as animals in the jungle, but if I'm a lion, it's okay if I look out for my lions, right? I have a special care for young black men because you don't get the focus and attention that you deserve. And oftentimes when you do get this focus and attention, right? What do? We usually shrink and we shy away. What happened the first time I talked to you and I said, oh, you fine? You need any help? What did you say to me? No. Why? Yeah. It's been a minute. Right? Yeah. But that's the point. A lot of the time, young black men don't get the time and attention and focus they need for their human growth and development. And when they do get it, they don't know what to do with it. That's why I don't have a problem right now in front of all of your peers of showing you how sacred and valuable your heart is, your mind is, and your development is. I don't care if they giggle. I don't care if they laugh. You deserve this. And in our population, we don't get it enough. So what I'm going to tell you to do is the next time an adult or a person comes and offers you love and care, receive it. Because there's going to be times in your life where if you get used to that over and over again of saying, no, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm straight, That's going to start to morph into other stuff. Know what it's like to receive love from people that don't want to hurt you or take anything from you. Remember what this feels like on an energetic level. And now we'll continue with the activity. But I had to bust you out and I had to record you and give receipts to show you that there's going to be times where you need love and support. And it's not whack or weak to ask for it. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Tell me what you feel. What do you feel from my energy right now? What do you feel about what I'm saying to you?
I feel a lot of like strong energy, like good positive energy.
Do you need that?
Yeah.
Don't ever tell me you don't need a black woman's love ever again.
I got you, auntie.
Look, don't juice me up in here. Now, you ready to bust yourself out for real?
Yeah.
What is it? What's something that you need to own up to that you haven't been owning up to?
Anger and trust.
Anger and trust. So you felt anger, you felt mistrust over here, right? Right? Tell me why you want to own that and work on that before you go into your rites of passage in adulthood. You want to leave it that way?
Nah.
Why?
The reason why is because when I get frustrated like hella easy. My bad for the language, but I get frustrated like just like small work because people like therefore like certain teachers don't like Miss Bartlett, she a cool teacher, she always help me when I need it. But like other teachers, like when I need the help, these don't help me at all.
I feel you.
So yeah.
And
like,
the thing is that's why you need to relish in this experience because not everybody's going to be that way. So you felt me over there when I said you can't allow somebody that you don't like or prefer to make you fall apart and turn into a snowflake and fall when you melt and hit in the ground. We got to learn how to manage that. And that's why, right, Ms. Cobelt brought somebody in like this to teach you. This is what social emotional development feels like. It feels good, don't it? Yes or no?
But yeah, that was that one was a little long-winded, but it was just like I appreciated it that it was long-winded even because it's like how often are we like that's even to this day that's still hard for me to accept like credit or telling me that you care about what I'm saying and stuff like that. Like that's still a thing. So I mean, yeah, what's your thoughts on that?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I can't personally relate, but I recently had a conversation with a coworker of mine. We were just shooting the ish, and I had asked him to share something or how he felt about something. And like eventually, like he kind of shared, but like when he shared it with me, it was some like really heavy stuff. Like, and he had said, like, yeah, man, when we were talking about this before, I wanted to say something, but honestly, I didn't think anybody would care. And it was some like life or death type stuff he was going through. And it's just crazy. Like he's 23 and literally like he thinks nobody's going to care about what he says. So
I would say, man, and just being honest, like I can relate. You know what I mean? I can relate. I feel like really the thing is it's hard for me. I won't speak for or say men. I would say for me to like really internalize like anything good, any compliments, and like it's hard for you really to feel, you know what I mean? The thing like it's, I don't know, like even just like when doing the music thing, like when like, oh no, that's dope, you dope. You know what I mean? It still didn't feel. It didn't resonate
because we have to be tough. You think it's because
no? I think that like it's not. We shouldn't have to be tough. I think that we. I don't know. It's hard, but I know it's something that like you probably want to speak to a therapist about. You know what I mean? And really get some of that because like I know when I was younger, like I can give you a perfect example. Well, not a perfect example, but yeah, a good example. I never felt that like until me, of course, as an adult man, I feel differently. But growing up, I never felt like anything I said really mattered. You know what I mean? So might as well say I'm good regardless. I might as well say I'm okay regardless. And like when I was younger, my mom brought a therapist to the house, and I was cool when she was talking to other people. As soon as she started trying to address me directly, I went and got under the table. Like I don't remember how old I was, but I remember this. But I was really young, like maybe second grade or something like that. And like I would literally shy away from expressing any emotion other than anger. So I think that like I don't know what it is, but I think a lot of men are wired that way. And I really want to find out where this happened. You know what I mean? To really connect the dot back to it. But I don't think that we at large feel heard or feel that it matters if you do hear me.
You know, I think he was on a good spot, like where we're gonna go maybe a little bit later on about like emotions and men. You know, men.
Okay.
Men did.
You probably trying to have an actual healthy conversation.
Oh yeah, you
when you was I didn't know where you was gonna go with your meme. I'll probably give my unpopular opinion about what I guess I think what she was saying was cool. In general, I think that for me, a lot of it seemed performative and like it was almost like a space of tokenism that I was looking at inside that where I'm looking at like all these white people and that one black kid, or maybe it was like a couple other black kids like splattered in there. The camera rolling and her like having to like be like this on camera and shit like that. It just seemed a little performative, in which I think everything she said was valuable. I don't know how I feel about her needing to give that full speech in front of the class for that specific kid, and like all the other social things that are entwined within that. Like she's almost like devaluing him to pick him up.
I don't disagree with you on that.
Yeah, and that was a thing that I did get out of it. I would not have enjoyed.
I do agree with you on that.
Yeah,
you know the funny thing is actually I felt the exact same way when I first see, because I seen that earlier this week and I turned it off. I didn't even know it was that long. I turned it off very early because it didn't feel right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But then as I seen it kind of go more into it, you know what I mean. It was still. I liked the video, but I didn't. Like I said, I turned it off maybe like 30 seconds in.
I think she got too long.
Maybe 30 seconds.
If you just say it real quick and then move on.
Right.
Yeah, like that. Also,
so the thing about it was
bragging though.
The thing about it was I had that same thought when I seen it. It was like that's why I said I don't disagree with you on that. It did kind of feel like to a degree like it could, performative. But the other thing about it was if she didn't take that video, I wouldn't have seen it. And I thought that was something positive for me to see. So it was like,
but that was, I kind of look at it like it kind of cheapens it up a bit. Like when people like go on like record themselves giving money to homeless people. Like to me, it cheapens it up.
That was
bro.
that kid's moment. It wasn't our moment.
Was it that kid's moment or was it her moment? Because that dude was
there. You go.
It was
there. You go.
Okay, so the only thing about it was
I would have thought about that shit 10 years later. I would have been mad as hell because I've been like, yo, y'all singling me out of something like.
So the only thing about it though was I did think she did present it, but at the same time, if you watch his face throughout the whole thing, at first he was joking.
Yeah.
And then by the end, he was really taking it serious and he was accepting what she was saying. That was the powerful thing about it. That was that man's moment. That was that young man's moment. And a lot of young men, we grew up a little bit different than this next generation. Their stuff has been like, they grew up in the time where you're being told to sit there, like you playing your phone, you pretty much stand out of your parents' way. That's pretty much what's been going on. I would say maybe like the past 20 years. It's kind of been a thing where the kids are taught to stay out of the parents' way pretty much. But we give you games, we give you phone, we give you all this entertainment stuff that you have to go look at. Like,
but that's kind of been the way of like y'all going outside, get the fuck out. Like,
well,
we always kind of been.
Yeah.
But you get different lessons from going outside than being stuck on the tablet or stuck on the TV. Like that's still a different time period.
So you're equating like, because I don't really see too much of a line between like the trauma she's talking about and like, you know, not spending time with your parents. You know what I'm saying? I think that's an overall like generational situation, but like I don't want to take away from that point, but I don't think it's the same as like Black men feeling safe to express their emotions, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I also think there's too much trauma talk sometimes. Like,
no, I agree. We've had that conversation too.
No, I hate that.
There were times where like we was getting strung up and we weren't being like, we were being positive to get out of that, and rather than like.
And now what we doing?
And we so victim, bro. We so victim out. Like,
we're gonna get back on that.
I think people compete to be the biggest victim. Like that, I definitely think that's a thing.
I should have said, kid, what is grade? What's your grades at, boy? Like the kid. By the way, what's your grades, boy? We need a little. What's his name? Expeditiously. We need this damn Mr. Clark.
Yeah,
Mr. Clark.
Okay.
I think we're at a nice transition point. A good memes today, fellas. We got to some great combos, you know, and some we're gonna probably touch a couple of them on the back end too. But we got a special guest in the house today.
Yes, we do. Yes, sir.
Very excited to have my boy here. And I know we did a little homework. We got a few.
Oh, snap.
We got some things we want to talk about. See how you feeling. But first of all, you know what you been up to. You know what you got anything big coming up. I seen you been real active lately.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. I've been well, I recently moved to Atlanta like last October. So there was a whole like almost 10-month period of me not doing, well, I guess a little less than that, of me not really being able to do much. You know what I'm saying? I was really just working. But as far as like right now, I just recently finished up a short film music video, Summer in CLT. I had a concert last Wednesday. I'm gonna have another show on the 27th. So I got a few things kind of like coming up, and I mean, I've just been working on a lot of different things, from like film to to music as well. You know what I mean?
Got a question for you. So your move to Atlanta, was it based on how we hear like a lot of artists, they're like, go to Atlanta, that's where, you know what I mean, you can get some better chance of having some prosperity in the creative lane. Is that why you moved, or was it something completely different?
Actually, that's part of it. Like the thing, that the epiphany that hit me, that started it all. Well, first in to address moving to a place where things can happen for you and stuff. Man, that was told to me for years, to go to Atlanta, to go to California or LA. I ain't gonna lie, I always was scared. I had imposter syndrome. So it was the moment where I was just kind of like thinking, I was like, man, I might, like, if I don't do anything, I'm gonna live in Charlotte my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of coming from that perspective that made me want to, like, not years from now say I lived in, because Charlotte has changed so much in the sense that it's like this. I mean, I could stay here and like live my whole life here, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to, like, in retrospect, not live anywhere else. So it was at that point that I was like, well, I'm not gonna renew my lease. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know where I was gonna actually live. And then I did this. And then actually my cousin, who is she's an actress, and her younger sister is like very established. She's on the, her name is Selena Smith. She's on the Tyler Perry show, Young Dylan, on Nickelodeon. She's the lead sister. She's been on like the Annie performance on ABC and stuff like that. The agency that they work with, my cousin was like, you might want to see, you know what I'm saying, and do like some work with them. So I went out there and did like a little boot camp, like, you know what I'm saying, a little like workshop and everything. And it worked out well. So I figured, like, one, it's going to a new place. Two, it's like the opportunity to like make money as an actor. And three, it's like, I've been in Charlotte so long that I haven't met anybody who, at least for my benefit, like knows somebody who or has any connection. And I know that I'd get a better chance either finding an investor or at least being a part of a team that creates something creative, because like there's an industry there. It's more than just, like the scene or whatever. No, there's business models where people are making money using entertainment, and they, and making money, like, and it's not really here yet.
And you're born in Charlotte. You were born and raised.
I'm born and raised in Charlotte.
My boy,
North side Charlotte.
Yeah. It's hard. We don't have too many actual like Charlotte natives. Yeah, I was born and raised here too.
Yeah. So just real quick, just something you said just gave me a quick opportunity just to admit where I was wrong at. Me and my brother, ironically enough, were having a conversation about Tyler Perry the other day, and he was talking about like how big Tyler Perry's impact was. I had a different type of opinion, but just seeing like even how that impacted you to some degree, where you were able to, where you made the decision to move, and that was able to send you in a direction and see the industry. I think that's pretty dope. I don't want to so shout out to Tyler Perry on that one.
Yeah, shout out to Atlanta. Atlanta's like one of the greatest American cities ever in history.
Hey, can I ask you?
I want to know what Tone's original opinion on Tyler Perry.
Oh yeah, you know that nigga.
My original opinion went more along with the Boondocks episode. I still kind of like even this. I don't like Tyler Perry's writing still all the way. It's certain stuff. It'd be like, man, this can go here, and you just leave it here, and why?
He's still into his audience. It's like expecting a lifetime to make like.
And that's the thing. That was my brother's point right there.
He literally said on an interview, I don't remember where he was, but he literally said that his audience it started from the church. Yeah, it was black women, black church women. So like, he ain't making shit for us. So we're not gonna. You know what I mean? We're not the audience.
So the black church don't like dark skinned men.
Nope.
Oh,
not the Southern Black Church.
Oh, okay, I had to make sure.
Why you
man.
Why I say that?
Oh, because it's always the dark skin when it's
man evil.
No,
Yeah,
that's fact. That's usually.
But you know what's crazy? Like
Facts.
in the 90s, it was opposite, bro. Like Terrence Howard, or like in Soul Food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the cigarette
you got to be
blacks.
careful about that light
light-skinned
skin.
blacks. They used to always get
the black light-skinned black.
the cigarette smoking light skinned blacks used to get
Or the green eyes. The green eyes, bro. The green eyes will get you, man.
Johnny, I think you was about to toss another.
Yeah, no, I was gonna ask about because you've been in Atlanta for what's that 10?
10 months.
10 months or so. You was in Charlotte, for a while. And I've heard different things about the Atlanta scene. Do you think it's easier to make those connections in Atlanta?
Hell fucking yeah, bro.
So
hell yeah. Just in general, bro. Like you go to an open mic and there's somebody who like works for Sony or like their managers, like bro, like so many situations where you could just be in the same room as somebody in the industry, or like even outside of music, like the goddamn RNC was in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So many things just happen in Atlanta. Like so much business happens in Atlanta that that you're bound to find somebody, more of a chance to find somebody. And another thing in Charlotte, there aren't many people who have experience. Like I do shows all the time in Charlotte for years, and I'll meet cats with like mad money to spend, and they'll talk about like, yo, investing in but they've never had experience in the industry or seen somebody invest some money and make money off of that.
Yeah, infrastructure.
Talking to the mic.
Oh, my bad. Damn. All right. So basically, I'm saying that even if you have the right candidates to invest, because pretty much it's a lot of it's investment. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You might meet people like in Charlotte after a show or something that might, you know, have money and say they want to invest, but they have no experience to even kind of like maybe double down on that later, or they might know somebody who knows somebody, you know what I mean? But in Atlanta, you have people that, like, for example, I'm a security officer. My coworker yesterday.
You be hemming niggas up.
That sound gay. What are you talking about?
Oh, my bad. Like jacking them.
I observe and report. I observe.
What is the proper way of saying something that doesn't sound like pause and Diddy worthy?
No
way.
To
restraining another human.
Just say that.
Not when
were you restraining that man?
Nah, as long as once the Diddy radar is up, bro, everything sounds wrong.
Okay.
Nah, but yeah, bro, you just like, so like, for example, the guy I'm working with, he says he moves on the side, and he said that the guy that he moves with, that owns a company, also has a record label and signs people, and like one of his movers, like his co-workers, was like in like this doctor's house, like a millionaire doctor's house moving. So he's singing, and the doctor, like white dude, hears him, and he's like, okay, ask him to sing some more. Now, mind you, their boss, who owns the moving company and the record company, right? Their boss is there. White guy talks to the boss and is like, yo, So the white guy buys the contract from the boss. So it's like, you got people who have seen it. And it's not in a sense like, it's just a matter of like seeing. I think about Charlotte. So much of us, we look at this like a dream, because if you hadn't seen something over there, it's different. Like in Atlanta, if you believe in yourself, people are going to believe in you. In Charlotte, if you believe in yourself, they're going to be mad as fuck at you. Typically, you know what I'm saying?
I got a question about Charlotte, specifically the scene back in, let's say, 13 until, and what you just left, and up until
over like 10 years,
up until, let's say, 23, 24. Like, what have you seen as the changes? Like, and I'll give my opinion. So, like, for me, I think that pre the baby, which I rock with him because he's from the city, but and this is not a jab at him at all. It seems like pre the baby, there was a lot of different sounds in Charlotte. Yeah. It seemed like once the baby dropped, it was like, okay, now the sound of Charlotte is trap. Yeah. We just that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? It felt more like that. So like, what is your opinion? Is that because I dropped out of the race a long time ago? So what have you seen from like pre the baby, post the baby? And we kind of, I guess you don't even necessarily have to use him as a middle mark, but just like what have you seen in the last decade of the scene in Charlotte?
I think that I don't know. Like, I don't know if when I even before the baby come out, because I come from the time of like the bodegas and shit. So like, even then, bro, like
it was trap.
It was trap, bro.
Heavy.
Charlotte
That's
is.
what I was trying
It's
to,
either you trying to be, either you on some earth. Like that's one thing. Like there's a whole like Kendrick side and J. Cole. Like it's either. That's why I never really fit in, because it's either you're gonna be trying to be earthy and like Hotepi, or you're gonna be super trappy as hell and shit like that.
See, I missed the Family Matters time. I was in the military for like the time when I came home.
Charlotte always like street music. Like it's never like Boosie, you know what I'm saying? Like so it's always like street music. That, I mean, so I don't.
But it's
think
reflected
that
inside the art as well. I think that we had like a niche inside, like the note, like you can like a lot of the rappers outside, like the Plaza Midwood, know that and all that. But there was always a really predominant trap space in Charlotte for sure.
bigger,
like the bigger.
you can get more opportunity rapping if you do trap.
Oh no, for sure, for sure. I could see that. And it's funny because like when I came home in 14 is when I came out. And y'all, there was already a community formed. So in my mind, that was what the sound was of the city. I didn't really know because I came here and there was already a footing, and I just joined what was going on.
COVID happened too, and it's also our generation. Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Like within the last 5 years, most of our generation transitioned from mid 20s to late 20s, or early 20s to mid 20s, and then mid to like early 30s and stuff. Some of us I'm in my mid 30s. Well, sorry, I'm 47. Y'all gotta take that out. 47.
Oh no, I think everybody in here is pretty much inside a 3-year radius of each other.
So that shit changed. Like SoundCloud changed a lot of stuff. Like and then the pandemic with where we could do our spaces. We were the cats who were like DIY. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's no spaces for that.
I definitely say the pandemic slowed things down because like I came back to Charlotte in 2019. I was in Elizabeth City for a long time.
Why you laugh, dog?
Check that last comment.
Yeah, I was gonna say it anyway. He said, "I'm telling my kids y'all got Childish Gambino on the pod." Shout out to Jeff. Shout out Jeff, man.
You know Jeff?
Jeff Lockhart?
Nah, Hayden. Short, dark skinned Jeff. That's who that is.
Jeff, drummer. Yeah. Lockhart. I definitely think about, because we were in his car. I think I pissed you off or something. It was his birthday. What up, Jeff?
No, but what I was saying basically was like the thing that I noticed, like when I came home in 2019, I had already been paying attention. For one, I think y'all had the right idea when y'all had the port. Y'all had the port, and I was like, man, that was the right idea. If y'all would have kept going with that shit, that was like perfect. Because the thing that Charlotte has been missing and has been missing the whole time that I did notice was kind of in Elizabeth City, even though they're a small town, they had it. It's infrastructure. It's like you need the people around you that's working with the artist and everything. Like it's not just the artist that's gonna make it by themselves. You need the people who is willing to invest the money, the people who is making the art, like the creative art, people who are willing to record the music and they like willing to look out for you and everything, like support. I think that's the thing that's missing, and it got worse. It was like it was on its way there before the virus hit, but after the pandemic, it's like I feel like we like 20 years from really seeing it here.
Everything's on
I used to think it was less
now too. So everything's on the internet now too. So I mean, the whole perspective of collaboration is probably different. Like you probably got people who might not even be out here in Charlotte physically that has a lot of people listening to them, and they're in Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? There's this dude named Asher, Aasher. I mean, he's dope. Randomly, my cousin texted me about him, but he's not trap. Like this is dude named Anela Harem, like a white kid. Like there's a lot of like not trap coming out of Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of times.
Shout out to Luke.
Oh yeah, Luke. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I was hoping that, but you can tell that Luke kind of
too. He's another good.
Ruben
Vincent.
Yeah. I actually like De Niro too.
Yeah,
he has had some cuts. Like for me, my favorite cut is the
Mind of a Gemini.
Mind of a Gemini. Oh, is it Mind of a Gemini? This is it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You know what I mean? That was like, for me, that was completely different than anything I had seen him do prior. But that was my favorite song. You can really hear, who he is a little bit more. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that like we need to get away from. I think it's better for hip hop in general if we don't have people putting themselves in these specific boxes.
Be vulnerable.
So like I'm just a trap rapper. It's like, bro, what about your good days? Like you can't talk about loving somebody too. Like show you are human instead of trying to like make yourself seem to be this fucking robot that fucking only cares about killing and drugs. And like, that's just, to me, it's like, come on, man. We could show that you're much more just a human being, bro.
Well, you've been on for like 5 years and you're like a Dirk. Why is he rapping about drilling and doing?
Because you get that, because white people pay for this shit. People who got interest in prisons and hospitals and
but you've gotten the bag. You've gotten the money.
Why you think they got the bag? What makes you think they got the bag?
He just had one of them.
But you get the bag.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that shit. You don't get no passes. You don't get no passes rapping about killing to make one Man in the Mirror song. Fuck all that bullshit. And I'll say it like this: I don't feel bad for any. If you a gangster rapper, you get killed. I'm not saying like you deserve it, but I'm not feeling bad for you, because that's like how if a cop gets killed, I'm not gonna be like it's a tragedy, because shit, if you put yourself in that line of fire, and there's too much of that bullshit. That's the shit. That's the shit. That's like the Super Bowl, Kaepernick getting like kicked off, and then they letting black artists be in the Super Bowl, and we happy. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't stand that shit, bro.
But one thing I will say though is that we also, I started watching a lot of like Vlad's interviews, trying to get my podcast game a little bit better, learning a little bit. And we also have to look at the actual situations that a lot of these guys are in, where they come from. You know what I mean? When they talk about like Chicago and the Chicago rap and all this stuff, this is something that people are born into. You know, like, let's say Cali, the Crip blood, like people are born into scenarios that, you know what I mean? And that they just pretty much are a product of their environment. And what I used to do is I would always write them off as like, you just listen to this, all this dumb shit they be saying. It just doesn't make any sense. These is dummies. And then you listen to an interview and these guys are actually, I ain't saying they're the most articulate fucking, you know what I mean? But you can see why, you can see the why. You see what I'm saying? And once you can see the why, it humanizes it humanizes them. I'm not a fan of death music myself. Like I during COVID, I took a fast and like literally I onesie and twosie listen to it now. But for the most part, I don't listen to any of that shit. Any of that ignorant death music, I don't listen to that shit.
Yo, I have a take too that I've been meaning to bring up in relation to that. Like you guys were talking about, and it was in the episode I was watching about how like there's more like how music has become darker. You talk about like deaf music, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people we even talking about like people who are suburban, like feeling like, you know who this is a hot take, but I think Drake is the reason for a lot of this catalyst, because Drake established feel sorry for yourself motif, like the whole sad boy. Like even if you think about like the hood blues, like Drake has been like, that's Drake. Nobody understands me. But I like, you know, I don't hate Drake, but I feel like and it stems from 808s. It starts with really Kanye, but like 808s and Heartbreaks is somebody like, I'm feel bad, and the whole gangster people picked up on it. Everybody, it's the wave. Like I'm misunderstood.
You either sad or
they don't no new friends. All this shit. That's Drake.
Mm-hmm.
What you think?
I kind of wanted to hit towards all right, so I guess I'll respond directly to what you just said, then I'll try and hit on the point that I want to get to. When you first said it, the light bulb that went off in my head was more so the idea that Drake went from Jewish suburban rap about my feelings into pretty much like the majority of his records now are about how he can get somebody touched, how he can kill somebody, XYZ, where he opened the gate of like, there was a time where the idea was that you had to have lived that, you had to have done XYZ. Now it's like, if you got enough money, it really doesn't matter. You can kind of rap about all the street shit that you want, and it's accepted, because the biggest rapper that we all seen on Degrassi, and he came in the game rapping as a conscious rapper, made a turn, and he became that thing. So when you said it, that's what I initially thought. I understand also the idea of Drake did like but to me that was one of the good things that he did. Like he humanized rappers to an extent.
Yeah.
I mean, truthfully, Kanye humanized rappers, but I think that he was the step forward when it came down to it. Even the idea of playing with melodies and shit like that. Before then, it was like a clear line in the sand.
Yeah,
you was rapping or you was singing,
right,
whatever.
He was
yeah, like I was joking when saying like we all hate
Nelly.
Drake, but like Drake definitely had some good contributions. But I also say
some
he has had some negative contributions in the past like 7 years for sure. Maybe more than good.
Are you looking at me about that? You looked at me when you said.
Oh no, I was just I was landing the plane. I can go back. I mean, I can try and go ahead. You can respond to that. I want.
Oh, when you said some contribution, that did strike me. I feel like I don't know, man. It is interesting, like seeing Drake in the light where he is right now. I think it's hard not to see him through the lens of now, but I don't know, man. I think he made a lot of contributions, like the way R&B music sound is because of Drake.
Yeah,
you know, the way pop music therefore sounds because of Drake. Bryson Tiller's Drake. Every R&B song is a Drake song, bro.
Brent Fayez is not anything.
Yeah, all of them from Drake, bro. All of them from Drake, bro. Because R&B is now rap. But all the R&B niggas do is talk shit.
I think all of them from Kanye.
Bro, I was too
more closer to
you
that.
might as well say Curtis Blow then. Damn, like you want to follow the through line, nigga. Kanye is not Bryson Tiller, bro.
How about
Like
this? What's more impactful, 808s and Heartbreak, or So Far Gone?
So Far Gone.
808s and Heartbreak.
No, I say no. The reason why I say So Far Gone because So Far Gone extracted 808s and Heartbreaks to make what it did. Everybody looked at 808s and Heartbreak. No, everybody looked at So Far Gone as the spawn. Like it's not like everybody think like bro, like nobody was remaking 808s and Heartbreaks. Nobody tried to do it later.
Drake did. He got on Say It's Real.
He was the only one. He developed his sound from
a lot of the trap
that
melodies
album.
is 808s and Heartbreak, though, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
think
even if you say
I would
like,
say
Rod Wave
production.
is kind of like 808s and Heartbreak.
I guess you could say
comment. Rod Wave is horrible.
Most people with Drake.
Damn, did we say Rod
I don't
Wave
know,
earlier?
bro. That's hard, man. Honestly,
He's not my age range, so I can't say if he's horrible or not.
I say Kanye over Drake impact wise, but it's hard to just say 808s and Heartbreaks over it. So Far Gone changed so much. Like more people know the album So Far Gone than 808s and Heartbreaks.
Don't look at me because I ain't a fan. I wasn't a fan of either one.
That's
because like
I would
808s and
say,
Heartbreak.
That's the wild take.
no, because people don't talk about 808s and Heartbreaks like
Just
that.
me, bro.
I don't. How often do people even bring up a song from
I haven't
808s?
heard a song from So Far Gone in forever either. Though. Like I think like if time will tell. Like I think. I mean that's a personal opinion.
So
I ain't
far,
gonna listen. I ain't gonna lie. I still play Paranoid.
I play Paranoid, RoboCop.
Yeah,
Amazing.
RoboCop.
Yeah.
What was
Boom, boom.
I'm cold.
Like I mean,
What was that?
The thing is, think of all the songs that sound like So Far Gone afterwards. It's not Drake, and think of how many songs sound like 808 specifically. So even if 808s inspired So Far Gone doesn't sound exactly like 808s. The sound it has,
I think the sound that
has been replicated.
Transformed most was that the boom, boom,
The 808
just that production.
Yeah.
Just Kanye, but
It became the whole thing. That's
like they built the entire So Far Gone based off of that production. Say it was real.
That's
It was real.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
But as far as the world, but it depends on how you want to look at it, because it's like it had to be amplified, and Drake is a charismatic character to amplify that sound and make it worldwide. You know what I'm saying?
I would say 808s is probably like in a lot of rappers' favorite like collection. Like it's in my collection of stuff. That's just not it wasn't a popular album necessarily, but like if you're a musician, you're an artist, like man, that album was powerful. Like it changed everything.
So I wanted to, I guess, come back to a statement that you said that I thought was interesting. You said that I guess you said gangster rappers, trap rappers, if they die, you don't reframe. Say that statement again.
I'll say
it was
this.
interesting. It's something that we could probably unpack a little bit.
I think that for me, and now granted, we kind of talked about different perspectives coming from different, you know what I'm saying, upbringings and whatnot, or experiences. But for me, like if there's an artist that raps about being in the life that involves violence, or if there's anybody whose job is involved in putting their life on the line, a lot of times, like I don't see the tragedy in these situations. Like I understand like the unfortunateness of, but it's like almost like, damn, why did this happen? But more specific. So like as a general rule, I look like, yo, if you know what you're doing, you know what I'm saying?
Could you give me an example of this?
Julio,
if you could.
Yeah, Fuliano, King Von, Soldier Slim. A lot of niggas, even if it was some sucker shit, like there are a lot of people I like, but it's like, am I gonna be crying, like, you know what I'm saying? Or am I gonna be like, oh man, it's like Dolph? It sucks that Dolph got killed, but Dolph in the streets.
Weeks ago.
So
I mean, I might look like some square, but
no, I got you. So I guess to continue building it. So do you give any empathy or credence to the idea of like the cycle of institutionalization that a lot of them come from, where they are like 1 year removed from hood shit, street shit? A lot of them still have the majority of their people, friends, and family that are involved. And a lot of times they still are 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
In which it's not like, I guess the credence to, like I said, institutionalization and the idea of education through like the process of like time, where being able to get further away, like T.I. right now,
and see,
it's
that's
different
what I'm saying.
than like T.I. in 03.
Bro, you gotta think
at the same time, if T.I. in 03 died, am I supposed to be like, oh man, what could he have been?
But he didn't even have the time to grow. And go ahead.
What I'm saying, see, I also you have to humanize it, right? Because the thing is that if you're born and raised in the hood and you want to rap, you're gonna rap about hood shit.
Yeah.
Or just
so like, you know what I mean? Exactly. It's just you're a product of your environment. If you want to be creative in that environment, the art is going to look a certain way. Yeah. But I do agree that when you get old enough to when you get a certain 10 years removed from the joint, like there's no reason why you should still be talking about killing niggas, and you've been a millionaire for at this point half of your life.
But my thing is, but even if you take young people, like even if you look at XXXTentacion, he might have known like the danger that he lived in, and yes, he might have gotten in some of these situations out of naivety, but it's like, should he be surprised? Should anybody be surprised that he got shot?
Oh, I'm not talking about the surprise part, but I just wanted to let's humanize. Well, see, and then also
it kind of goes back to like, we weren't saying, hey, he needs to sit down and stop talking about killing people. Like for me, it's like, have that energy 24/7. Like, don't just say Black History on February. When somebody die, you're gonna talk about, oh, let's talk about how misguided the youth are. Stop playing the nigga shit. He shouldn't have been famous anyway because he talked about killing each other.
But I will
say
this,
what I'm saying?
Though, like back in the day, like the music we came about, like they rapped about killing it, and it was a part of it, but it wasn't the glorification of it. If you had to kill somebody, it was just, I'm in this life, and sometimes that comes with it. Now these dudes are killing each other and making hits about it. And
nah, them niggas rapped about it.
People, the social media now shows there's more. We're more aware.
But like, so that dude, like a Julio, he had the We Smoking 23 and like all of that. If he gets killed, I really don't care, because you were literally asking for it. A person like X, who, yes, you're like the naivety, like he's just a young kid that's out there just living life.
But he didn't really make killer music.
Exactly.
Like
so I'll feel sorry for a person like X, because he didn't like,
and he didn't get killed on like hood shit.
Yeah, he didn't like walk that. So there's certain ones that I do have, like I do put that the humanizing.
They did say he had beef though.
But like beef don't mean you deserve to die, especially.
Well, but I'm just saying, I'm not even saying these people deserve to die. I'm just saying, like, if a cop gets killed, then he deserve to die. Like if a like, that's the thing that always gets me at like how they have these big.
I was hoping you didn't.
I didn't mean
that last statement, because I was going to go in.
I didn't mean to. Yeah, sorry.
There was a piece of what you said. You said if your line of work, if this is in your line of work, then I don't feel sorry. I
don't see it as a trap. And I do want to apologize, because you are you've served in the military, and you now thinking about that makes me think a little bit differently. But even in that same, I guess, analogy, the thing is, it's like sometimes it's the reaction is that it was wrong to happen. In some of these instances, like it was wrong for this person to die, or the police officer got shot and died. It wasn't supposed to happen, or some of these things. Like
I said, it's like par for the course.
It's par for, like, actually, I think in the military they treat it, I think, more appropriately. But like, yeah, in some of these things, it's not healthy to not talk about like the accountability or the probability of it to happen to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
And I'd rather speak. because even when you say police to me, I think let's leave it at the rap part because that's still different. Because his job, if he's an innocent police officer and he's doing his job, he's called to bring and that's why I was hoping that you wasn't going to use like a line of service to the community and say that is like over them dying. I was hoping I was gonna let it go and just not say nothing, but then when you use that as the example, the police thing, like hold on, I don't think. Hopefully, that's not really what he believes.
Well, what about a criminal that dies in the shootout with the police? Like, is it a tragedy for them to die? Like, who's
no, it's not a tragedy. So, but what I'm saying is like if you have a job that is to serve the community, and you end up dying trying to serve the community, then that is tragedy. That's different than
it might be unfortunate.
Versus,
like,
no, it's tragic.
I don't look at it, but I don't look at it. I don't know. I look at it.
I was hoping he was. I looked literally when he
said, to me, it's not to me, it's like a thing that happens. It's like niggas like hate to quote Rico and bro, niggas die every day, B. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look, bro. If somebody just got like, I don't know. Like for me, it's not like I think there's a lot of I think part of the overreaction is the propaganda. So maybe that's my cynicism too. Like, especially like when you see the overreaction to like a gangster image rapper dying, or the strong reaction if there's like one cop that dies. I love everybody. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, part of that is because we have to reinforce these institutions, whether it be
well, so I have a building question on to where you're at, which I guess it probably makes it. Damn, I kind of want to ask this, but then I kind of want to continue in the interview part. But I'll ask this and then get your point. Then I want to ask you like some more pointed questions to you. So, given your perspective that you kind of just laid out right now, what is your overall thought about killing? Like just I guess violence in the quote unquote lower socioeconomic spaces.
Like just in general, what's my thoughts about violence?
Violence in lower socioeconomic spaces. Let's just say the hood and violence in the hood. We'll just go with that.
From the hood to the trailer park.
From the hood for the trailer park. But we're talking about black folk right now.
We're black.
We talking about rap. So
well, according to Tyler Perry, black folk can be in the trailer park.
I think that a through line that I'm trying to draw is like the idea of not having empathy for the death of, like, for lack of a better word, like a currently ignorant but like hasn't blossomed black person. Where a lot of, like, when we just look at the numbers and when you run down like statistics who are dying, like to me, most of it is a lack of two things, which is economics, financial, it's the need to have, and then it's ignorance, education. Mm-hmm. So I don't look at that as any different within rappers. But I guess I'm asking that to see, is that consistent, or like how do you differentiate the two?
Let me know if I answer this correctly by saying this. My thing is, on a personal level, it is sad when somebody passes away and dies. If that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's sister, relative, friend, right? I think my beef is more with the attitude and the reaction to how what the public decides to talk about, what the public decides to celebrate, and I think that my beef is the fact that as a whole, if you want to talk about black culture, or whether it be lower income black culture, and forgive me because I'm suburban, but there's a culture that glorifies violence and crime in many instances, like whether it be on.
Yeah, so what is your personal perspective?
So my beef is like, you see, so like going on black Twitter, that might repost Migos or something, all this shit, and then everybody saying RIP to this rapper who got killed. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's what bothers me, because I'm like, yo, it's a problem that you're not even addressing, that we're not addressing. We want to have our fun, we want to do all this shit, but we don't want to be responsible. And that's my thing. It's responsibility. And we don't even really talk about that. Like, we only want to talk about, like, celebrate the little dude acting like acting crazy and being like, yeah, he young, let him do that. But we not celebrating anything responsible. Anybody. The responsible is that one-off song that Dirk makes. When let's go get J. Cole because we want to have a moment. Every moment should be a moment, bro. We spend 95% of our time talking about tricking, buying sex, girls selling their bodies, killing people, ops, all that shit. 95% of our time. So that's what bothers me.
Gotcha. And I think we probably in majority agree with that same point inside the room. And that's why I kind of wanted to move it past that to see where, because again, I think that like your point is an interesting one. I'm just trying to see like your full worldview impact. So like, do you take that in which you kind of like, you hinted at a little bit, the idea of like glorification within hood spaces of ignorant behavior.
Yes.
But do you, so within that still, do you like, what is your idea of black trauma? Not I don't even want to use the buzzwords like black death inside those spaces. Is it things that you kind of like, well, niggas need to be more accountable? Or is there some level of empathy and understanding that this is quote unquote the institutionalization that people talk about?
And before you answer, I want to give you an example. So like in Chicago, you know that there were neighborhood or apartment complexes that they broke down, right? And moved these guys to the same neighborhood. Like, so they literally put the opposition to each other in the same neighborhood. And this is a product of that. You see what I'm saying? There's this like to say that the hood is the hood just off of its own happenstance is not. You see what I'm, do you see where it's kind of going? And there's also some things that create the scenario that these people are in and live within, and which also is the reason for the additional violence and things like that.
Bro, you went the next step. We was gonna build to that.
Oh, my bad.
I wanted to get that part because that's the basic of a POV.
I think that I'm kind of taking into account. Can you rephrase it one more time? Like,
oh damn it! Listen, shout out to the To Be Fair show. We are sponsored by what did y'all pulling up right now? Modelo's this week. And the crazy thing about Modelo's is that like when you have a sip of it, sometimes you forget your train of thought and you have like bad.
Shout out to Modelo. You know, and when that happens, all you got to do is get you some Starbucks coffee, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a.
Oh, all right, my bad. I think I've recaptured it. We were speaking about like the through line between your perspective on, I guess, quote unquote, ignorant rappers and like the things that like the outcomes that happen there, and then like your perspective on like things within like is that the same through line for like lower socioeconomic people that are ignorant and financially destitute and that glorify quote unquote negative.
And when he said ignorant, he means like lack of
uneducation
based on where they are and what the amount of funds that are contributed
really
to those
broadly to where it can be misinterpreted. If you've watched the show enough, you kind of understand what I mean. But yes, it's just a lack of funding and education,
right.
In which, with time, I think we're all humans, and it's just socioeconomic. But yes,
I think like, and kind of like when you said the first thing, I kind of thought about like the Du Boisian kind of like perspective versus like, and for me, it's just like, I understand that there are obstacles and that there's a lot of things very wrong with the way that poor people are treated. And just, I understand that life sucks in a lot of instances. And I can't relate to every tough situation, but I also know a whole lot of people. I also know it doesn't cost a lot of money to raise your kids in a certain way. And we all know, and nobody really, no, we talk about it. We joke about it on Twitter. Like we post pictures of like people doing hood ass shit with our kids, or like our kids cussing and doing different things like that. Is to me, like, I come from a time where, bro, I mean, granted, everybody's household is differently, but I feel like me not being exposed to certain things, me having like a certain level of respect, or seeing my father have a certain code of respect and discipline, a lot of these things aren't.
But I guess like if we then like start building to what he was.
I can't solve violence in the hood, but I think that there's a whole lot of
for sure.
Responsibility is what me I'm
I got it. And so one, and we'll probably pivot off of this because we'll probably get into like a full unpack conversation in here. But damn, I lost my train of thought again. Again, shout out to our sponsor Modelo for this episode.
Hey, well, quick comment real quick. Since
you're
there, low income Black culture has been the face of Black America for too long, and I'm sick of it. There must be a balance.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree to that.
Bro, it's getting my reading too. Yeah,
they clowned the Huxtables too long, bro. They've been clowning, bro. They stopped picking on the Africans. They got to stop picking on the Oreos now.
I think
we used to clown the Africans.
You look at me for
no way. You over no.
I'm looking for your support because we suburban. Like,
bro. I looked over at you because of I think that's his own can of worms. Like shout out to Unpack. When we get into the FBA tether conversation,
I wanted to ask what's the FBA so we can.
Hold on. Are we gonna do this?
No, we're gonna do this. We're not gonna get into that. Okay. He just wants a definition, and I'll give that. Then we'll kind of like move the conversation a little bit forward. But FBA, Foundation of Black American. Again, I'm recently learning about both of these communities. But typically there's two spheres. There's like the FBA group, and then there's the Pan-African group. FBA, Foundation of Black Americans. Maybe you've heard ADOS as well. American Descendants of Slavery, in which these are the people that are the descendants of what is the year 1865 or some shit like that,
right?
In which people that were Black in America prior to the freeing of slavery.
Yeah,
and them having their own specific ethnogenesis, their own specific experience in America, and own specific claim to the stake of what America is. In comparison to Blacks that have came off their own fruition after within whichever time. Okay. So the FBA whole idea is like it's a lineage. There's some messy parts to the whole conversation that ends up happening, where there is like what they call the diaspora wars, where it then gets to like the splintering of whether you say like are Black people African? Are we talking about like are Black people African? Are we talking about like Jamaican, Caribbean, XYZ
identity questions?
Pretty much, yeah. So that's what that entire thing is. But
you should watch.
We're gonna talk about that later.
I'm telling you should watch those FBA. I didn't know what that was, but listening to the Unpack show, like there's a lot of conversation in there to figure out
Black on Black.
I thought FBA was the thing that people were in at high school
for sure.
Yeah, I know. That was FBLA.
FBLA. I'm like, damn, my brother was in the FBA. Shout out to Ian.
Future Business Meetings of America.
Right.
That shit.
Yeah. Man, so
but
okay.
I guess what I did want to, and I think it'd be fire just to go down even like a piece of memory lane. So a through line for most people inside the room, and even with you, is the idea of like the port, right? So where a lot of people came in at different like stages, XYZ. Johnny later, Rail at a different time. Keith was pretty much there.
He always been there.
Yeah. But funny enough, like me and Nigel, I guess some people would say like founding the idea of the port.
Yeah, nigga, we had it was in our text message thread.
Yeah, it was inside our text message thread. In which I guess like just starting the conversation, memorable favorite moments from that time. To me, I like to look at like that whole like 10-year span, maybe like, well, I wouldn't even say 10, like 8-year span. If you go like from like 2009 all the way up to like maybe 2017, is like just the era. It was just like a beautiful time of like a lot of shit happening. But specifically within like the port times, what are some of your favorite, whether good, bad, indifferent, whatever, favorite moments or memories that you had?
Oh, my favorite moments? I got a lot. Shoot, now as soon as it's on me, like they all man, I have so many fun times. Like even just I remember recording certain songs, being at what's the studio to do? He had a baby, Rich, right? Rich recording Caddy, just like
that was the time.
Having our you know, our weekly meetings, Jacob, me, like
the drunk cam. Y'all remember the drunk cam?
Drunk cam.
I done woke up many nights in Rich studio
He
and then
said,
couch.
said Music Mondays.
Rod, yeah, Music
Studio.
Mondays.
I didn't know that.
Rod,
Okay.
Rod, you know what I'm saying? Ask for money.
Damn.
Oh shit.
Rod know I love that nigga, bro.
He got smoked, bro.
Nah, I ain't got no smoke for. I love Rod, bro. But it was great times. And then also, I don't know if y'all know, but like, real talk, I don't know if anybody back at Central, like my cousin's younger than me, so like he tells like what we did at Central inspired a lot of musicians after us, bro. Like, and even that the experience, that show we did, that impacted a lot of people, like very much. But bro, I learned so much just working with you guys and like working on a team and learning how to just put things on ourselves, like the show, promoting, believing in ourselves, putting together videos. We're like the only niggas doing that shit.
Yeah.
You know,
it was definitely a time. Shout out to Mom Duke. She's inside the comments right now. And I don't know if you probably
Mom's with a lot.
Yeah,
going to the house.
Like NiGE, he done pulled up to the crib. We done went and used my mother's CD maker to put the put the covers on the CDs that we was on
Basquiat
for the Basquiat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you actually have any the original Basquiat tracks?
I'll have to search.
I can only find a couple.
I'm pretty sure at my mother's house there's probably an actual CD.
I only
still has it. Matter of fact, I might actually have the CD upstairs, to be honest. I have to search through the email to see. Or really just about finding out what we shared the
Your mom said
that's my brother's favorite project of mine.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Your mom said she got it. She said she did.
Okay. Mom got it.
Yeah. But yeah. So again, like I said, I think that like that was an amazing time. I think that even with me and being like adjacent to you and seeing a lot of like the creativity side, in which a lot of people don't really specifically know, where I do think that you are like a creative in the like purest sense of creativity, where if you leave NiGE alone over at a table and it's a pen around, he's going to have drawn out like an entire story on a sheet. And then like you sit and ask him about it, he can tell you kind of like all these different things. He has like characters that kind of like transition throughout like different scenes and different things like that. You'd be like, oh damn, like this is a person whose mind is constantly working inside the creative space. Same idea of, like I said, used to make his own beats, used to obviously write his own raps, XYZ. But seeing that side and being like, oh damn, like this is a person that every time we pull up, he got a new record recorded, he got new verses. Shit, we out here freestyling. You know what I mean? Like it's mad shit, and it's like, okay, damn, like this is a piece of like what working as an artist actually looks like. So I guess
thank you. That means a lot.
I guess as we like continue through it, so there was like a divorce that happened, right? And I think that
let's talk about it. You talking about the port?
And so I guess like an opening question to her, or I don't know where you specifically want to go. So I guess like your questions would be good as well. But I guess I would like to ask the idea of group versus individual. And to me, like that's kind of what I took at, where like when you kind of split, what I did was like, as an individual, I have all these specific things that I probably want to or try to get off. And right now, especially being on a leadership side of a group, maybe it's better in the idea of individual. Sometimes a lot of people will be like, well, a group is kind of like the engine that maybe you might need. And I think it ends up being its own balance. So love your perspective. Was there like good and bad in the idea of leaving a group to be like an individual again?
I mean, I think I'll answer the kind of like the philosophical question of group versus individual. But like in the context of like me, I think that there's a few things like I didn't learn till later what it's like, what it means to have friends, to be real, what it means to be in a group. Like like even then, like I was probably like maybe less than 10 years out from like living in my like less 5 years out from living in my own, living at home, and I didn't realize how much I wasn't used to be like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know what kind of like sticking around really meant. Like, and honestly, I didn't till later know what like the value that I played in certain things, because I'm always like thinking of my deficiency, where I have to go next. You know what I'm saying? And this like this crazy ambition to want to like keep going, and like, but I learned later like the importance of like patience, you know what I'm saying? And then just the value of friendship, you know. And I think about like back then, I didn't think about it at the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, like I just kind of like up and left and took a lot of that stuff for granted, you know what I mean? But not in any reason, I guess, towards how I felt about you guys, but I think it was just like insecurity mixed with like feeling like that ambition, like you just got to keep going, and you just afraid that something's gonna like slow you down, or you want to do everything you want to do, and there might be a benefit in chilling out, looking at what other people's got to do. Like I hadn't really matured much, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There are a lot of things like even before that, it was All In. My man Josh Crowell, like it was a little.
Oh yeah,
you know, I left that. The UNCC Cipher that started that, and then I just left that. Like,
you started that?
Yeah, the Cipher, bro.
Know that.
Nah, real talk. I started the not the NC State, UNCC, because Jerusalem at NC State when I came back, he was like, look, you should start one at UNCC. Jerusalem, he'll tell you, eternal all of them. And I did that, but it got to a point where, oh no. Nah. But then it, like UNCC, like when I came back to Charlotte.
But you said cut the bullshit.
But hey, hold on. Well, I guess all of us was like we started the NTCU site, but I think that would be like a joint thing for all.
Yeah, that was. I wasn't a part of that. That was y'all.
No, you was in the first video.
But there's a difference. That's that was in the video. No, the NC State site. I'm talking about the NC State Cipher was a thing, like a event, and you had that. Yeah. How much percentage of the convo are you listening to?
I'm over here DMing stuff.
Hey, birthday boy,
it's your birthday, man.
They can't hear Keith on the mic, so we gotta continue keeping it in. We got you.
But yo, we're talking about some good. Man.
Keep building.
But as far as like group and I think that what happened had to have kind of happened, because shit, I wasn't gonna learn what I needed to learn just then, and but also shit, I was mad because I felt like niggas wasn't everybody would and that's where you learn about leadership, the responsibility of a leader. You know, you gotta have more responsibility on yourself. But I'll be looking at niggas like, damn, like nigga, do some shit, or like, you know what I'm saying, like.
No, but
you know what I'm saying? I'll be mad as hell. That's that patience thing. It made me mad. Like
that was something like, because at the end of the day, like I also made it depart from the port at a period, and to me that like at the end of the day, it was a mistake for me. As I look back, like let's say I didn't learn some things about like you know, kind of doing the thing by yourself. You know, if you're gonna continue going, you're gonna learn a lot. But is it what I really learned is that like trying to get good at everything means that you'll probably not be good at any of it. And so like it was a mistake. I ain't gonna say a mistake. It was just something that I realized in hindsight that probably would have been better off not doing. You know what I mean?
Not doing port or not?
No, not leaving.
Yeah.
Not leaving.
Yeah.
So is that something? Would you say that if you know what I mean? Let's say theoretically could go back and
I don't know. That kind of be up to like where Quentin would have wanted to take it, because I know like for me, like you got to look. I came back in 2013, and by like 2015, I had a band. And then after that, I was just doing everything. So like I was already in a place where creatively I was going everywhere. So it would be based upon like how the infrastructure would, there might have been a place where we had a whole, like there was space for me to do that, or, you know what I'm saying? Like it didn't conflict with other projects that we were working on. But I mean, I look at everything supposed to happen for a reason. Like I think, I think everything happened as it is supposed to, because I think that no matter what, like if you love doing this, the only reason why I'm still around doing music, because I'm still around doing music, and like I'm like even right now, like nothing's really changed. Like you can always like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just glad I still have relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like it might not have served the relationship, not have served a purpose up to a point, but like we're all masters of our own.
Right.
You know,
Or
you know what I'm saying?
The relationships have all served the point that it needed to.
Yeah.
Where like again, like I say, I there's many things that I can say that I took away from like, all right, let me grab that out of the NiGE bag. Let me grab that. Let me grab that. Oh, damn, that's like interesting. Like name branding. I like that lowercase I in all capital. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's so many small different things in which yeah, I again, I think you what was the question you asked? You said would you have done it any differently or anything like that?
Pretty much.
Yeah, what about you?
Would I have wanted things? I like in the perfect world, I would love for nobody to have left and us to continue and keep pushing and all of like that, and like the entire thing. And as more people came in, obviously it would have grew stronger. Like Rail comes in stronger.
Yeah.
Johnny stronger. You know what I mean?
And
like,
it had just happened. Like I wasn't around when they came in.
Yeah. Like it like all that was like probably like a 6 month interchange.
But you know, it was kind of messy at a time. Like, bro,
I'm
like,
pretty sure.
Like, cause we had some shows or like, and then not like it was a lot of different.
What you have to also like put in perspective
messy.
is that like it was two pieces. Like one, we were all young.
Yeah, that's a big piece.
Like we were the oldest person probably was 25.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like it's nothing but like 19-year-old between 19 and 25-year-olds. And then I think that even through like the entire journey of it, like that's where a lot of like my leadership had to eventually evolve and learn in different pieces of that. So like even if I'm like looking at faults that did happen, it's like, well, if I was like a part of a head of the snake, then there's a part of accountability that comes to me. Well, like, well, like, damn, there's probably different ways I could have went about it. Or if, like you say, shit was getting messy, then like there was ways that we probably could have problem solved for it to work. But I mean, I also think that I'm not mad at where like I specifically landed. I don't think anybody's mad at where they landed. I think that everybody's kind of like happy inside the spaces and where they're at. But above that, to me, during that time, there never would have been a time there's nothing else I would have rather been doing. Like the memories that actually exist from that specific time are amazing. Like you said, when we talk about like the Keith Cypher, you take that to Rich House and we all like it's like 10 of us in the studio and niggas recording records and you kind of peeking out like how niggas reacting when I'm rapping. You know what I mean? Like falling asleep on the couch and you waking up and there's a camera in front of your face and it's like niggas just having really, really great ass times to Music Mondays and like learning how to run a fucking meeting. Like we always
we were having like scheduled meetings.
Like we was all just learning how to be small individual. You gotta go to the mic if you're gonna say something. But we was learning how to be like individuals and like run structure out of like specifically not knowing. And of course, like when doing that, things are gonna fall off and different things like that. But I think it was all valuable things that I wouldn't trade it for the world.
And trying to get Jacob to put out a
that's another.
Yeah.
I was about to bring up some headaches. Like, can we talk about the headaches?
Sure, go ahead.
How great and talented Jacob was, but it was hard to get him to
listen.
You know what I'm saying, to finish stuff. 90.
Yeah,
Jacob, no,
I love
wait.
90 is a trip.
Go to her.
And free because he's a button pusher, and I ain't learned to. That's another thing, bro. My button would get very pushed. I had to
was a troll before the word troll.
Bro, T Free. Shout out to T Free.
Jacob,
you know what I'm saying?
In my opinion, Jacob was literally the best rapper to ever come into the port. Period. But he just did not have the work ethic.
Keith says it's like every time, whatever.
Jacob is nice.
Like,
Jacob nice as hell, bro.
But Jacob is like
nice
super
as
nice.
hell.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
nah, he's super nice. Anybody who's heard him rap would know it. But he just didn't have the work. Like I would, if Quintel or Nigel, if you combine Quintel and Nigel with Jacob, one or the other or both, whatever. Pause. Like you'd have a superstar who would already be signed.
But I'm gonna fight you. Are you saying my talent is the reason why I'm?
I'm not
saying not for hard, but he had like talent, like Jacob, yeah, you know, like
he's personal perspective. He does the exact thing.
This is what I'm saying.
No, that's what makes it all.
This is literally what I'm saying.
Understand what you're saying.
No, but this is what because he made a point. This is what I'm saying. Y'all had great talent, and I still like. I still go back to the joint. I forget the Kaleidoscope joint. I still listen to a couple songs from that.
Thoughts, yeah.
I still go back to Thoughts. Yeah. I still have songs from Quintel on my phone. It's like right now it'll pop up in my whatever. But I still listen to y'all. But
Q or Quint, you can't throw out niggas gun. Good.
Oh my bad. I'm sorry.
The oil.
Yeah. I'm all but like,
what is your point?
I still listen to y'all.
What is your point?
No,
he said Jacob was that nigga.
Yeah, you gotta apologize for saying
Jacob. I still think Jacob. That being said,
what about
like them, better than y'all?
What about them 10 videos you ain't never finished?
Bro, I thought I was about to go smoke.
I didn't want to say my pain point too, because that was another thing. I was like, we had a videographer. We shot like 5 videos.
I've thought about that over the years. And also I reconcile that with the idea that y'all have not put out every single song that y'all record.
So the idea that
the idea that
you saying out of all the videos you shot for us and all the songs I've even put out myself, because I didn't put out what? So you're saying you didn't put out videos?
No. I'm not saying it for like a song.
Stop talking to Keith, bro. Stop talking to Keith, bro.
I don't get it.
What I'm saying,
we need you to come sit down, bro.
Yeah, come sit, Keith.
Come sit down.
We can have a whole pod to finish out.
Happy birthday, though, bro.
Happy birthday, though, for real. Nah,
you got it off. You got it off.
Nah, but the boy was dope. Nah, like he was
top 5 rappers.
Jacob was nice.
Jacob.
But also too, bro, like the thing that struck me too about like listening to the songs and stuff, like even my stuff, the stuff we did together on the Basquiat, bro, we was making some deep music, bro. Like there was a certain point for me where I like consciously wanted to make music that for people to have fun to and stuff like that, and I kind of like synthesized, maybe went a little bit in that way. But when I go back and I listen to the Basquiat, like this audio files and those stuff, I'm like, yo, damn, and bro.
To piggyback on what you're saying, I think that maybe even Johnny got on to you before you was like after you was like rapper. Like when I first met NiGE was like a rapper. Like a rapper, like he bubble coat rapper, if that makes sense.
Backpack rapper,
he was like pull up to the ciphers to get his bars off.
And you
like,
should tell me that too, because I came after.
Yeah, like you came after, like when he was like making. What was the first dance record that you made?
Like Medicine? You talking about
Medicine? Yeah. They're like post medicine listeners of NiGE. Yeah. But if like you go to the Basquiat, if you go to Thoughts, if you go to like any of those are like, again, introspective perspectives where you can hear the history major when you come out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can hear like the intense understanding and knowledge and perspective that you have gained over your time frame inside those records. Where, like I said, this probably is a natural segue into the idea of asking you, as an artist, you're definitely someone that, when I spoke earlier about a style and having to be stricken to a style, I would say that you're probably somebody that has consistently evolved over time and has been open to like branching different little pieces, adding new things. I'm gonna mess with this folk rap thing. I'm gonna mess with like something that might even sound like a little popish. I'm gonna mess with something that you know, like all these different things just to push the envelope of my creativity. Speak to that a little bit.
I think that just ends up happening because I like music. Like even when I think about like whether or not I have talent at making music, I think I have talent at expressing myself, talking, you know what I'm saying? But I think the thing that makes me actually good at making songs is because I know so many and I remember so many songs, and like I could hear like something at a certain cadence and then that's gonna make me think of a song. Oh yeah, you got me started now. It's gonna make me think of a song. So like for me, it's all just I want to do what I love. You know what I'm saying? So like I listen to Chuck Berry. I listen to Chuck Berry now. Like he got a song called Brown Eyed Handsome Man. And it's like, oh, arrested on charges of unemployment. He was sitting in the witness stand. The judge's wife called up the district attorney. She said, free that brown-eyed man. It's basically like that's an old song. But what I hear in that, I'm like, yo, he was locked up because he was black. And he was also hitting the judge's wife on the low, and she called him up. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, it's like, yo, that shit dope. So it's like, for me, same thing with history. Like, I don't know. I like a human experience. So like, I feel the experience in almost everything. So to me, like, there is no, I don't even consciously think of going outside a boundary, like, because it's just, to me, everything's mine. Like everything's mine. Everybody's a nigga. I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Everything, you know what I'm saying?
Don't say it around the FBA.
No, but that's how I feel like, even with like cultural and stuff like that, I've just always been the dude there, like, yo, where you think he had the audacity to do there, go there? And I just don't ever think, because I think we can go wherever we want. You know what I'm saying?
Can I build on that? Where'd you get that, like, fearlessness? Because like you have to have some kind of confidence.
Growing up light skin.
Right. You know what's crazy? And it's crazy if we can talk about it. I've done a whole lot of therapy in like the last year.
Oh, this is a great space.
Because I even was talking about recognizing my own insecurities and a lot of the things I did out of insecurity. But I realized even in my therapy how much anger I've had, you know, in my life, you know what I'm saying? And then when I think about a lot of instances, and y'all probably seen them, where conflicts get worse, you know what I'm saying? And I say that for two reasons. For one, I recognize that my whole life I've been a fighter, you know what I'm saying? That's why I have challenger tatted here, because I've always like not been afraid of challenges, but I've also gotten to a lot of shit because I just want to step up to a challenge, right? But I also feel like being, just for lack of a better word, weird or different or eccentric, and not really maybe having like that filter of knowing how I should be. Right. Weird, awesome. Maybe that kind of made me dig in, but I can't whatchamacallit, I can't put my finger on it. I consider it a blessing to not have kind of like, I don't like feeling fear. If I know that I am holding myself back because of fear, that kills me. That kills me inside. So there's certain things that like just naturally I'm just gonna bust through. You know what I'm saying?
No, I like that. I fuck with that.
Do you do the count? You ever did the countdown to yourself?
Oh, to calm down?
No. To like before you go and do it, like
1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna do this shit. All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. What are we talking about? Jumping on a ramp? Well, if you're talking about something physical, there's a lot of things physically I won't do. Like I'm not gonna go down the hill on a skateboard, or like I don't like stunt shit. But nah, like a lot of times I just do shit.
Just off doing it, I'm with him. I ain't interested.
I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool myself.
But I also know that if
30s, I'm done too. Like
exactly. If it's somewhere that I want to go, if it's somewhere where I want to go, I know God's going, no matter what, like I'm supposed to go wherever I go. Like, so I'm not really afraid to, I'm not saying like I'm not afraid to die, but like I'm not really afraid to die. You know, I'm not gonna die for nothing, but like, bro, it's all good. Like, bro, I just never really took shit that seriously, or myself that seriously. Good and bad thing, you know.
That's dope.
Yeah, I don't specifically agree with that last part.
What I say? I don't take myself seriously.
I'm talking about being afraid to die.
Yeah, I ain't really.
He said the same thing. I said that.
You're not afraid. You're not afraid to die.
Oh, no,
I mean, you are afraid to die. I mean,
well,
nobody wants to die.
Yeah,
I don't like. I care about dying.
I do too.
Yeah, I'm gonna just make sure.
I guess let's say into this.
Yeah, I care about dying too.
Yeah,
is there anything that you would risk dying for?
Of course, I got a little daughter up there.
Mm-hmm.
I got a son. I got a wife. I got a mom. Shit, even my dad and most of my younger siblings. Yes.
So I think
I said most of them,
and I think that's what. But I think that's what.
That was bad wording. No, which one? I'm hard headed though. Which one my camera at? Where you at?
You on it?
Which one? I'm trying to find one. You hard headed, but no. All of my younger siblings, they're my older, my brother Roger. That was just me speaking.
But I feel like when I say don't be afraid of death, it's more of in the sense of don't be afraid to live. You know what I'm saying? Don't let certain things. If it's something I want to do, like I'm not gonna be like. Now, granted, if I know I'm gonna risk dying, then yeah. But in a sense, like if it's something I want to do, like I'm gonna do it. Like that's why I break rules.
Keep you from living.
There we go.
Yeah, good way to say
Johnny.
it. Yeah.
Drink to that.
All right, so
chill.
But I guess this is probably a good time to segue into our
how many
our topics for the weekend. Probably look like two. Okay. Look like we'll get two. So rock paper scissors.
Rock paper scissors. Loser is out.
Okay. Or they get to choose the order. Well, hold on.
Whoa. That's the Modelo. Once again, sponsored by Modelo.
Right.
Motor skills is starting to get caught up right now.
What's most important is the eye contact. So we like that's the part. Then we understand.
You gay, bro. How we gonna all look in each other's eyes too? Like, how is that gonna happen?
All I'm gonna say is
all
that
right, what we should all do is all look in each other's eyes first.
We managed to do it, but listen, I'll jump on the LGBT sword.
On the sword.
Sword.
Hey, you getting one show, bro. You're getting a little excessive, bro.
He trying to get us cancer.
So you want to taste the rainbow, bro?
Listen, I'm gonna be all right. I'm good on the left.
How far left?
Damn, I'm
got that nigga the fuck up out of there.
What was that, bro?
All right. But see that was why that eye you missed it, but the eye contact happened, and then all three of us. That's why you came in late. All right. It's really Johnny that's drunk. Get the fuck out.
Okay. Then he tried to cheat.
I was like, what do you do?
I almost wanted to change it. I was like, nah, I'm a rock.
He tried to cheat and everything.
So I'll be someone to keep in mind. I think Johnny made his one up right before we told him to send it. So I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah. Johnny, we didn't talk about
Johnny these internet streets and just said that shit. So we gonna like ignore him. If you want to like throw in his at some point in your conversation.
I actually had real facts and research.
You did? Their research.
It was
all right, I'll try and make mine short. If we can make mine short, then we'll try and get into y'all's. But
make yours.
I'll start and then we'll go that way.
All
right. So in lieu, this was made before Biden dropped out, but in lieu of the Trump assassination attempt. The clickbaitable thing is like, are we ready for like an American Civil War? But what the real deeper underlying conversation is, are we too comfortable for what a revolution really looks like? In which, like, if we look at like the assassination attempt, in a real revolution, that's par for the course. If we talk about like, if we like, shout out to South Africa, shout out to Camus. He was like, hey, he get elected, he ain't gonna last long. Like they kind of like they have they understandings of like, yeah. In America, there is a comfortability that we do kind of have. In which it sounds good to say like we want a revolution, we want to overthrow the system, we want. And I'll ask y'all, do y'all think that just sounds good, or are we too comfortable to actually enact, go through, and deal with what a real revolution looks like?
Man, I feel passionate about this. I think 100% we are not ready for what a real revolution looks like, and a lot of people about to see that. I actually think we're the enemy of a lot of the world with reason, and like, yeah, like this. Like,
you think the real revolution coming though? The
real revolution is coming, bro. It's coming.
Yeah, I think it's.
I'll say this.
Yeah,
I think there's some of us in this country who are ready. There's some of us.
You ready?
No. I don't think we're the ones that are ready. But it's some motherfuckers that's been out there like.
The brother Poe Whites.
You saw who got up on that roof and shot at that man. That wasn't us.
And I think if we're talking about black people, then that's gonna be a whole nother topic.
Like white people.
We can start. And then
I do want to address the big notion that everybody has that there's gonna be this civil war, and like really think about it, bro. when they're really civil, like the stakes we're talking about is fucking social feelings, really. Like
They just shot at them.
no, I understand that, but when I'm talking about like, not like even if you look at the gripes that people have with Trump or like the things we're arguing over, it's nothing to do with money. It's stuff to do with shit that we've been arguing about forever. We're not gonna go to fucking war because of abortion. We're not gonna go to war because of teaching what we teach in our schools. Like niggas is what makes look at the Civil War. It was all that disagreement happened. It was money, and it wasn't people deciding to. It wasn't all them. It's not going to be no race war. That's what everybody's getting sensationalized.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a civil war or
I don't think it's going to be a civil war or a race war.
I guess like if we're looking inside the lens of like, let's say January 6th and what that incited, just based off the idea of like fake electorate and the narratives that are pushed on the right and the far right. But even more so, what I wonder is what today right now would look like if the bullet did hit Trump and he died. And like all of these people that are already kind of like prior to the whole like the thing that was happening, like all the rallies, they promote the idea that we NRA. If y'all got a problem with Trump, we come strapped.
But my thing is, I don't believe I call cap on a lot of that because everybody was running around scared as fuck when he started shooting at that thing. Like,
no, they ain't moved. Them white folk ain't moving behind him.
Behind him?
Yeah, they were just standing there.
Yeah, they saw him up there on the roof. Somebody could have climbed up there and did something.
Yeah, but I said all of, like if there was a black event, I feel like the entire background.
Oh, that shit where everybody would have.
Yeah, they just kind of was like.
But I feel like, that is crazy.
That does
like when you sit and look at it, it was kind of crazy. That's where a lot of like.
Y'all still think
the
like
false flags and
you think like you think like the Proud Boys and the far right is like a threat to America, like because when I think of America, I think of it as a business, and I think
also there's a lot of people that shoot in America, and there's a lot of people that don't really have that empathy in them, and they'll go out and shoot. They go to Las Vegas because they lost some money at the table. They go shoot 60 people.
Yeah,
they'll walk into schools and shoot up their school. There's a certain population of this country that really don't give a fuck about killing people, and to say that, and if you piss them off, part of that, who's to say they're not ready for that?
And that's true. I guess what
you think is
the main thing that I'm saying is that I think that the hyperbolic nature of the conversation has led that. So yes, I agree that I'm trying to think of like a single issue that's on the table that would draw that whole thing, but I do understand the rhetoric that would. So the rhetoric that is being pushed is that Trump will be the end of democracy. Trump will be a fascist leader. Trump like that is like rhetoric that is pushed consistently on like major airways, whether we talking about to black people on CNN, XYZ. These are things that are said not specifically hyperbolic, but are hyperbolic and not necessarily true.
I think it's intentionally hyperbolic.
No, I agree.
I feel like the left makes Trump just as powerful. It's a big fucking it's a bunch of like fluff. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of it's just image and like what people say build it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, bro.
What about those people like on January 6th, in the middle of peaceful transition of power, they literally walked into the Capitol and tried to stop it.
Honestly, I feel like more people should take note from them. When I saw them, I was like,
people are ready for revolution. If you know that they're about to transition and you walk into the building, that's a revolution.
Oh damn! I guess maybe is it the question that the right is,
but also at the same, but at the same time, we've had instances throughout history where people have done like I think we're just so used to people not. We're so used to people staying in spaces and staying in line, keeping their head down. You know what I'm saying? Like used to be back in the day, protests, unions, all of that stuff. Like it's always been like people stepping up to authority or like, you know, stepping in the middle of some shit and shaking shit up.
You don't think it's gotten worse and it's gotten more aggressive?
No, I think Americans are just soft as fuck.
We think we had a attempt on a presidential life in this country. It's been like 40 years. They like so
Ronald Reagan.
That was 40. He was in the 80s.
Yeah.
And so I mean, that hasn't happened in years.
I think we saw
that it's happening. That proves that the people are tired of this shit. It proves that we're ready for change. Somebody was trying to kill Trump, a former president. That's not ready for
I don't think. I think that was a lot of like. I think it was some bullshit. I don't think everybody's taking that whole situation that serious just because of how like skeptical the whole situation is. Like, if I don't know, I feel like if Trump really got like everybody didn't expect like it might be foul play, people would be like concerned. But I don't think like people are that concerned right now. Like, honestly, I heard about Trump getting shot, and it's not the first thing we talked about the next day. You know what I'm saying? I think politics, I don't know. I think politics is a joke.
I think that's a scary thing, though. Like, if that wasn't the first thing we was talking about, like that's probably an indication of us as a people, what we care about, and our lack of awareness of what's kind of going on in our country and the things that we possibly are facing in not too distant future. If we're not careful and we just keep our eyes closed and we don't, it could never happen to us. And if we keep that mindset, it definitely will happen to us because they've tricked us into thinking it can't happen, and that's exactly when the moment you get robbed is when you don't think you're gonna get robbed.
But like, but my thing is, what is the end game? Like, because we've created these opponents, depending on what side you're on. But like, if we were to think of like, what would the end game of this, if there is a fascist right, what is the end game that we're thinking they're trying to get to? Is it that, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of these things, like, it doesn't make sense.
Like a very exaggerated, they want some version of a soft Hitler shit, right? In which, no, but the thing is that I don't even think that that's true.
That's what I don't get.
But the weird thing is that, so this is the part that gets me, is that, like, I think all of us probably see both sides enough to where we understand that it's hyperbolic.
Mm-hmm.
I got too many people close enough to me that don't see it as hyperbolic.
No, for sure.
They take it so seriously.
Especially our like parents' generation.
Oh yeah, all them civil rights people, they got their head.
And even like the younger, like the college age liberal,
woke.
Like, they look at it as like, this is almost life or death.
I look at them.
That's crazy.
And maybe they haven't heard enough elections where they run that same thing every single time.
I got a question for you. When was the last time you like actually felt a presidency? Like, you felt felt the impact of like that it really like was a whole shit.
The president Obama.
What was the impact?
Like, the thing is, when we talk about impact, I'm not saying like any particular direct action but it's just like
that affected you. Like, I'm not
had an impact on me. I think it was Barack Obama and how it affected the peripheral around me. Like, one, I was at Central, and that I was heavily involved in the AJ Donaldson in the Obama squad out there, and we like got like a bunch of people to vote. So I was kind of wrapped up in that thing. So Obama meant a lot, but I could say by the next time around, I was disillusioned.
See, but I'm telling you, when I understand what it's like, and it's crazy because it's like the same thing Vlad says. Like, it's like, well, Obama presidency, it made black people feel like they could be anything. They could be, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm talking about aside from that, like, what did he do that when was the last time like really the president's actions, other than like war abroad, right? Mm-hmm. You can talk about like war abroad. Other than that,
Donald Trump.
And what was it?
The stimmy. Oh, y'all was.
He didn't even start the fucking stimmies. They don't even count.
And he pardoned a lot of like.
Oh no, I'm sorry. He did. So he did. Because he signed to check on the first one.
Everybody loved
But
Trump.
I think for me that's like a funny fucking stupid one though. I get it. It was impactful, but I really hate the way we view the stimulus checks.
I guess like let's drill on that really quickly. I think that was interesting. So you were asking him the question, when was the last time you felt the presidency?
Right.
In which it almost becomes rhetorical in nature, in which you're saying that I don't think too many presidencies within our lifespan that we actually feel the impact on ground level. His response is that Trump, because of the idea of the stimulus in which he actually pushed money and checks XYZ, which again,
niggas got like $3,600.
Let me land the plane. Let me land it.
What the fuck? Go ahead. Land your plane.
Wait, also, there's the healthcare that Obama definitely introduced affordable healthcare in America. So, like, that's a thing too. It fucked a lot of people up though on the other side. Though.
As good as that is, I don't know, like on the ground level.
Yeah, especially at
how
our
many
age.
people that actually, because if you already was getting Medicaid, because when we talk about it, this is really what the question begs is like what demographic you're talking about.
Yeah.
And that demographic is lower socioeconomic people. Has a presidency actually impacted you in the past 20, 30 years? the reality would be what he said. Even though the unfortunate part is that it's low hanging fruit,
right?
And because of that, it says a lot about a lot.
It says a lot about a lot.
Would be the one marker that you could say as a president.
Right.
Women right now could probably say Biden and like the abortion shit, but outside of those things, like I said, the question you was begging in his response, like it says a lot about the entire whole scope of the thing.
For sure. And see, this is my thing about the stimulus check, right? And I'm not shitting on the stimulus check. When mine dropped, it was fire. You know what I mean? I was in the market I'm still in the market. You know what I mean? I invested the most of that money from the stimulus check, so it was fire. What were you about to say?
I had a crypto forex joke, but I'm gonna let it last.
I didn't get no crypto Shiba Inus and none of that shit. I ain't have none of that. But
I was about to say, like a lot of niggas just lost money in that.
A lot of niggas lost that bread.
How many forex?
I ain't do for it. Hey, the niggas don't even talk no more.
I know some people at Central right now at the top of my head that was doing forex.
I
know that crazy.
Quiet.
I could have sworn that dude was a millionaire. I'm like, damn, nigga.
13. Let's look at it though. Like we talk about the stimulus checks and like, bro, $3,600 shouldn't make you feel like I'm a vote for you because I got.
But what's it say about our expectations and
to
me?
Yeah. Like we gotta sometimes realize where we came from. We are also now middle class.
No, but what
$3,600
it's not
for a lot of people.
It's a lot.
That meant.
I understand. It means a lot.
What I'm saying is, if that is the thing that stands out to us, just that more than other things, I think it says a lot.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
It says a whole bunch about like
agree.
What we actually
and sorry.
No, go. You good. I was just gonna say like the reason why I said it that way. I understand that $3,600 can change your month. You know what I mean? It can change your month. Like if you got real deals, maybe it changes 2 months. If you got to pay your rent and you're short on your rent, that check was fire. Yeah. You know what I mean? But in 3 months, that check is gone. So that ain't really. It didn't like really. It just bought you some extra time.
At the same time, you're in the face of elitists.
Like, how is that elitist? How is that? No. That's what I'm saying. It bought you some extra time.
We're talking about
it just keeps you in your house versus being homeless.
Well, I'm saying you think that
you're talking about niggas in houses is the issue. Is what I'm saying. Like the people that actually that it actually really impacted the most.
Yeah,
would have been like the people whether they like. I'm trying to think of like a neighborhood in Charlotte that's like low income and whatchamacallit. I can't even
knocked about all of them down, but yeah.
It's still enough of them, but like where rent is $800, and or if you're on actual Section 8, if you're actually like you know what I mean, like actually real low income, $3,600 is an extreme amount. Like shit, like that puts you up. Like if you just use that to your rent, it's like 5 months. Like if you just landed right there.
That's true. Yeah,
go ahead.
Now, in that, I want to see what you guys think about this because I mean, a gentleman I was talking to yesterday that I work with, he was talking about how he did a PPP during COVID. He's like 23 now, bro. His homie got him $50,000.
Yeah,
and they ain't asked for it back or anything. But he's talking about how what he spent his money on and what his friends spend his money on. Like they spend it all in like 2 weeks, bro. On dumb shit. Like he said, his friends spent like $3,000. Yes. and he said the engine. He said he put everything on it. He put everything on it, bro. And then he said the engine blew in 2 months, so he had to buy another car. And the thing is, it's like, but to me, I think some of it, I don't know. It's wild. Like my thing is, and I don't know what people might think about my opinions, but usually the through line is just responsibility, bro. Mm-hmm. Like I just respect you if you take responsibility for your shit, you know, and I think that's where a lot of people they want to blame somebody. That's where everybody's arguing about politics and shit because they're looking for somebody to blame about something. Because at the end of the day, I could be born in Ukraine or fucking Jordan. Thank God I'm not. Shout out to Ukraine, but I'm gonna go for what I want, bro. I'm not gonna sit around talk about what people should do or where the world should be and shit like that. If somebody fucking with my people, then I'm gonna say something. But people use too much time. Like this, is how I feel like being in college. We'd have these seminars. And it might be sponsored by A5A. And like, should women have a job too, or make it? It's like the same fucking discussion. And I'm like, we sitting here for fucking 4 hours just circle jerking each other, just trying to show off for like the girls and shit like that. It's like, nigga, go get what you want to do, go do it, bro. Like a lot of this, not to take away from, it's all good discussion, but like people be so caught up in this politics shit. Go get you some fucking money, because that's really what's gonna make you secure. And whether you Republican or Democrat, the rules ain't very different. Get you some fucking money because you're gonna need it.
And then did you know that was the reason why I asked that question. It's something that I realized, bro. It's something that I realized. It was crazy. That I realized like that it's two things that are for poor people, in which I'm considering myself poor as well. The church house and voting. Do you know that the Asians don't even vote? They just shoot their bread over to the candidates, and they gonna get what they gonna get. They just don't vote. Fuck it. What I'm voting for? You gonna do what I want to do because I shot this bread. I ain't gotta vote. You know what I mean?
Because they're actually supporting. They're supporting they're actually, because the people who are running, they're actually making decisions for the people that put money in their pocket.
Exactly. So like literally, we can sit here and just keep doing. We can see this shit is not working, regardless of if you're going red or blue or whatever. It's obviously not working either way. You know what I mean? That even you listen to Killer Mike's been saying the same thing. We're gonna have to lobby. That's how you're gonna get anything, is through lobbying.
And
it's not voting. Your voter turnouts and all this shit. That's not what it is. You know what I mean? You're gonna, like you said, money is the game. Green is the color, not white, black, red, blue is green.
But I guess this is where I would say politics does kind of like jump into it, because of that. Probably like we've had these conversations a couple of times. What you expressed would be something that identifies, probably like most people just identify that as right. They'll say that that's Republican or right thinking. Conservative. Conservative thinking. For sure. In which there's also the other side, in which the left, there's like this, there's a space where there's a bit of like the empathy mindset. You're like a theme for the show in general has been accountability versus empathy. You're heavy on accountability. That's kind of what I've gotten out of like everything that you're saying. The empathy side tends to be the left side, but with that there is a lot of diagnosis and not solution, where tends to be like on the right, quote unquote, the rhetoric is that if you can get your bread, it don't matter what race, what creed, what da. Like that's what the narrative is that they're pushing. And that's where if somebody was to listen to you and you not preferenced it with the first part, they'll be like, oh, he's right. He's on the right. He's right leaning. He's conservative. He's da. Just to kind of like go, respond to like the point that you was making.
Yeah, I feel like now that's a good point, but I think that's the problem with where we've gotten to with politics and just in general. Like it's so much op talk these days. It's op, and I think that like op talk. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like you had like, was Booker T. Washington Republican? You know what I'm saying, or or was he for his people or was he not? Like does right mean for black people or not? Like can you be a very staunch in your like, for example, like Bill Cosby, he would probably share my view. I mean, he's not made a good example, but he'd share my views, but I'm pretty sure
that was a random ass example. What made you say Bill Cosby?
Because Bill Cosby, outside of the context of the scandal he's gotten into, but like he was always known as somebody who spoke pretty conservative about like self-independence. Like even Marcus Garvey, like Marcus Garvey, you wouldn't call him a right wing. They probably call him a nationalist or something. I think that we got to be self-sufficient, and the whole trick of like the liberal Republican thing is, I think it pacifies us. I think a lot of America are a bunch of softies.
Right. Johnny had his head.
I think what you gotta like look at it is like, if we look at like the power structure of this country, the left and the right both work for the power structure. Both sides of it. So why as black people do we feel like only this one side is gonna work for us or this one side is gonna work over? Why don't we do the same thing? And there's black liberal thinking that's gonna benefit us, there's black conservative thinking that's gonna benefit us. We have to unite as black people and understand that just because you thinking right don't mean you trying to hurt me, and just because you thinking left don't mean you trying to. We're just trying to figure this out as one people, and there's a reason why it's called a political spectrum.
Yeah,
like it all matters. There's all things can be mutually, two things can be right at once. So
right. Yeah,
and so that's how we have to look at it as black people. We can't just look, I'm black, I'm left, or I'm black, I'm right. We have to look at there's black right, there's a black left.
Yes,
and the only way we're gonna get to it is the shared working of both of them.
Yeah.
Right, and I guess like the conversation that we're having in itself is important. Where I think maybe all of us in the room, I don't know where you identify, but I think everybody in it identifies as independent. And have pretty much voted along those lines. Well, I voted independent.
I guess I'd say I'm Democrat just historically.
Okay, and I'm about to build to that point.
Okay.
But these are like the kind of like issues that we tend to have as we start speaking politically and as a group, because maybe we haven't like explicitly spoke politically as like a black group, like inside a very unjudged manner, where it tends to end up feeling that, and again, I agree with everything that you said. Black people tend to gravitate to more conservative notions. We vote liberal though, which sometimes ends up being against our interests, but we understand that neither one of them have our best interests, right? So like it ends up being like this whole little like dial that we keep spinning, in which we're not specifically like identifying and correcting the solution as much as like we're just playing a part inside that whole game.
I think you could say that for everybody pretty much in the political, who cares about the political system in America, like to a degree. I think a lot of times, well, I think,
I guess give me an example of a group that has like,
okay.
So with black people, we vote 90% Democratic.
I think
to where like, I don't know if there's a demographic that is specifically the same as black people.
I think it's one of those instances where black kind of gets thrown in all together as one thing. Like if you're like in Utah and you're white, or Nevada, if you're like in Nevada and you're Spanish, or like Texas, you're probably going to be Republican. But you know what I'm saying? If you're you're Puerto Rican and you're in New York or something like that, you're probably going to be Democrat. Like, because those two, I'm pretty sure those two people probably like live very different experiences, and might even identify themselves as differently. But black, like, we don't really section ourselves off. It's like kind of what we're talking about. It's like, if you're black, you're this. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like,
oh no, I agree. I think that goes to the notion of what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're bringing it all the way around. Actually.
Okay. All right. Well, let's land this plane. That we could try and get through a rail for about a good 13 minutes. It look like.
Can I use the restroom real quick? No, I hope
you can. We just
gonna keep going.
Yeah, we gonna throw the rail and let them talk for a little bit.
Let me talk for a little bit. Talking about what we already had. Just the previous conversation, or you talking about moving forward?
Yeah, moving forward.
Okay, so my question for the week, right? Because we had, you remember the relationship question that we had last week? Yeah, man, with brother Jeff pulled up. Appreciate him pulling up. I had fun. Like, to me, I see the relationship conversations. I guess maybe because I'm also like not having to sift through the fucking single world. Maybe it's just all entertainment to me because of that. Because I'm like literally piss people off sometimes talking about it. They don't want to talk about it anymore. But anyway, specifically women, I know some of them just don't want to entertain the conversation anymore. But my question for this,
you get ramped up in the conversation. That might be why.
What you mean? Oh, I'm talking about just to present the conversation. Yeah. Like they didn't even want to talk about it no more. I mean, specifically one person is what I'm talking about. Somebody specific. I don't want to talk. Probably so. Hey, probably so. Probably so. So my question for the week, right? And I realized something. Y'all taught me something that the last week y'all taught me that 50-50 don't mean 50-50.
We done said that so many times.
Okay, but see, but this is my thing. Hold on. Let me ask. See, the funniest thing is that 50-50 can mean a multitude, really from 90-10 all the way through to 50-50. But traditional is like in this box that is like, so y'all got a lot of wiggle room. So I just want to, let me just say there's a lot of wiggle room there.
But
and let me get to my question.
Inside modern relationships say 50-50.
Say it again.
I don't think that most people inside like just regular modern relationship use the word 50-50.
Okay. Well, I mean,
a petty motherfucker.
As a matter of
Yeah,
fact,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that is like its own rhetoric that the individuals don't specifically use. It's like clickbait.
oh, okay, possibly. So
You
what I was
niggas
going
be
to say,
like, I'm in a 50-50 relationship.
let me move forward. Well, my question is, and I'm still going to say 50-50. Fuck y'all. My question for the week is, do you think that 50-50 relationships or modern relationship have pushed us into the idea of not wanting to need or not needing each other, made it to where we don't want to need each other?
I don't think that's the reason why people don't want to need each other. I think, and I don't want to, talk about the chill out. My camera.
Oh my bad.
Hit my shot. Fucking my shot up. But like, I think we have to blame like the previous generation and like the actual tradition, like when relationships were mostly traditional.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to go back to that space and see how these women were getting treated.
When was that? What are you talking about? Not our parents, but our grandparents' generation?
Maybe our grandparents' generation.
Probably the grandparents' generation.
But I think ever since then, there's been a push for independence, for like women wanting to be independent just because of like how they got treated. And we all
stories we heard.
And the stories that we heard. I think that's where the push for independence comes, not the fact that they haven't split everything.
So I think there's a difference between being independent and not wanting to need someone. When you say independent, you're only talking about financially, right?
Yeah, strictly. Or
self-sufficient.
But I think that like it's beyond. I don't think that like financially is where not wanting to need each other stops. I think that it's like literally, actually, it's even beyond relationship. Like
I'll take it further. Maybe they needed us, maybe they don't want to need us because we weren't there in the past. Maybe this the ball being dropped at some point, and they feel like they can't depend on us. And then now that's why they're like, well, we just gotta go and get it by ourselves, because traditionally, and there's a lot of reasons why we haven't been able to be there.
And just to be sure, I'm not just, and I'm gonna kick it right over to Tone in just a second. I just want to make sure y'all know that I'm not specifically just talking like about women, because I know that men don't want to need women as well at this point.
Wait,
so it's not just one-sided; it's actually on both sides.
Nobody wants to need each other financially, or just in general.
I think in general. And I think,
I do.
Yeah,
I want to need.
So
I don't think men is on that side, but ironically enough, I had a meme that I was gonna do today. Y'all remember Ebony K. Williams with the bus driver situation, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so she's about to have a baby, I think, through artificial insemination. There was something about that this week. So like this person had posted a meme basically like it's like telling that she was about to do this, and he was saying like people don't see anything wrong with the fact she doesn't want her child to have a father, like.
Yeah.
Like, but she wants to have a baby. She can't see herself being with any type of man. Like, she has to go out and have, as pretty as she is.
I think that's an outlier. I think that 95% of people would all say, you probably should have a dad.
I think,
like whichever side of the aisle that you land on, I think that she's that very specific example for a woman that got her eggs frozen, like did all those extra, like, you know what I mean, the hyper super independent woman career thing. I don't think that example speaks for like the mass of people.
My question, here's a question. Do you think it's selfish because I understand the perspective of a woman or anybody wanting to raise a child on their own or have a child if they don't have a partner, right? Want to raise a child. But do you think there's any like selfishness involved, or do you think that making that decision deprives that child of qualities that would benefit by having two parents?
I think both of them are.
You didn't.
That's the same.
Yeah, you didn't make it either or. You made both of them
on the same side.
Sponsored by me. but you see what I'm saying? Do you think there's an element of,
so all of us agree with you. I think that like in the way you stated the question, we understand what side did you land on. Like your bias bleeded through it, but it's a bias that we all have. I think all of us agree with the idea that two-parent household would be better, and it is a selfish idea in doing it.
Okay,
that's what you was asking.
Yeah. Okay.
So are y'all in agreement that we've got a culture of not wanting? And I don't even think, like I said, it doesn't stop at relationships.
No, that was a pivot.
Okay.
Like, they kind of went into a tangent. He about to bring it back.
Yeah, so I think that I think that like we can see it within our society at large. Like we want not to need each other. We want to be able to do it on our own for our own, like, and completely like take ourselves away from the human nature. You know what I mean? And I think that like I think it was just a clickbaity way to say this 50-50 sparked that, which of course 50-50 didn't spark it. Or actually, no, that
I
ain't.
don't understand how 50-50 could spark it, because isn't 50-50 like the almost admission that you need a partner in the world?
50-50 going 50-50.
Like,
yeah,
I could see that.
I would definitely say this is a result of white supremacy in this situation.
You think so?
Yes, because I think it comes. I think
NBA trade now.
I think we have there is a control layer to this thing or whatever. Like there are layers of things that happen where it's like it's purposely put in place. Like you might not see the action the first year, the second year, but 10 years later you see the action.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just sitting here thinking about like I thought about hip hop, and then I thought about TV and like how much of this stuff is sold that hey, this is what your community is like, and who's in charge of that being sold to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like who's in charge of these? Black people ain't running the media that puts out these shows or puts out these songs. We're not in charge of the publishing and the actual distribution and all of this stuff happening. Like it's not us.
Right.
So I'm saying the stuff that actually gets put out, even though you have black people who are participating in it, it's basically the same thought as the house slave. Like you have people who are willing to do that in order to turn, like they don't care about the community, they just care about saving themselves. So they're willing to sell the doggone vision under the guy like somebody else's tutelage.
Right? Yeah, I think it's also the American way.
I wanted to understand it. I kind of got lost in the example a little bit. Bring that back into the 50-50
I disagree with what you're saying too.
But yeah, all right, so yeah, bring it, and then I want to
before you say it out there,
just letting you know.
But because I want to like engage in it, but I think I kind of got lost.
I kind of got lost in what I just said. So
I think it's the guns and the butter, bro.
Nah, it's Modelo, bro. Like Modelo just kind of threw me off, and I kind of forgot where I was going, what we was talking about.
It's the guns and the butter, bro. Y'all ever seen Baby Boy? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I was gonna say get him. Oh look, God will get mad at you. Yeah. But now, like in Baby Boy, Ben Raines, the dad, gives a spiel about like guns and the butter. Basically, the guns are the shit that actually matters, and the butter is the shit that is flashy you think matters, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at most of the people in the people who do shit in this country, or the people with power, most of them have marriages. Yeah. Most of them are married, whether they're all the way faithful or not. There's some like black, white, all of them. All the ones that work out there are married. So it's like, to me, I think that it depends on what you want to look at, like, you know what I'm saying, and who you're looking at. But if you really want to, have debate over like, I want to be independent, I want to look at shit. How far did it get Bill Clinton? How far did it get Barack Obama? Like if they didn't have somebody that they could rely on, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the foundation for greatness. You know what I'm saying?
I remember where I was at too.
Feeling like, go ahead.
I want to engage for a quick second. I want to engage with like I guess the original question, the idea of 50-50. I'm trying to think of which way I'm gonna go. All right, I'm gonna go with like the probably the easiest one. The first like real answer to it would be, I don't think that 50-50 has made people not need each other. I think just literally modern technology and convenience has made people not specifically need each other as much as having to choose to need each other. There was a time when it was an actual necessity to need each other. Mm-hmm. I think that
it's still a time.
It's just so many other things that you can access and people you can connect with that it's easy to take the people for granted.
Right.
To make you believe that
because you're gonna say you don't need nobody, but you're just gonna keep moving on to somebody else to get what you need. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I guess like in void of not trying to get into like a philosophical question of like need inside the context, inside the statement of what you're saying. Because I think that it'll probably bog down for like another like 10 minutes. Like I understand what y'all are saying. All I'm saying is that the option to choose is a product of modern technology inconvenience.
Okay, and I just remember why I had said what I had said. Majority of where I think we've heard the idea, like I don't need, and I think it's mostly been I don't need a man. Let's just keep this honest here. I don't really know too many men who be like I don't need women. I that's just not a statement I hear a lot. But most of where we've heard I don't need a man has came from TV or the radio or like music. It's just the common knowledge. I think it's passed through there more than anything. Yeah. And I think when you look at the music, especially in the black community, if you look at the music over time, in the 60s, they needed their man. In the 70s, they needed their man. In the 80s is when stuff kind of started to change because you started getting to like, ain't nothing going on but the rent and all of that stuff. So it starts devaluing the man. And then by the 90s, you get I don't need a man. I'm independent. 2000, all the women independent. Throw your hands up at me. It keeps going on.
No, I get it, but I'd also say like, and this is at the risk of sounding like a black male feminist. I think that there is a privilege that men have always exhibited if you're speaking inside like that traditional role, in which the reality, again, if we're talking about the option to choose, I think that there was a time women didn't have the option to choose to need a man or not. But men had the option to choose if they needed a woman or not.
Yeah.
And I think that would more so be like, quote unquote, what the rhetoric is vocalizing.
Yeah, and that meme that I was showing earlier, the one that stopped, I said it was actually a woman. She was saying that she that they feel like they are the first. They don't feel like they are the first generation of women to actually not need men. And they can pay for their own place to stay. I feel with their technological advancements, like Q was saying, it's like, you know what I mean. You got take 5, you can get the oil change. Yeah. You know what I mean. If you have enough money, you don't. These are the first generation of women that at large, like in mass numbers, or I would say what do you say?
Oh no, I guess I'm thinking like, if you go inside like the history when they say like food stamps and Section 8 and like the white man come and take the daddy out the home and black people inside low income.
Oh yeah. You talking about poverty shit? I'm talking about to live outside of poverty.
Okay,
it don't take that to live in poverty. You know what I mean?
But I feel like that trickles down negatively to people who aren't even in the position to not need somebody. Like how you just brought up and how you had to differentiate between we're not talking about poverty. But I can see a woman without maybe the means in the beginning, I guess, kind of having a mentality of not wanting a man or not needing a man. I'm not saying like she needs one, but like it's not the same as if, you know what I'm saying, you're a OBGYN and you want to freeze your eggs and because you got it like that. And you know what I'm saying? So like, how do you feel about that effect it might have on people in the economic spaces that might need maybe more than just one person, or maybe need to entertain that idea? Like,
oh no, in my opinion, I think that like I'm the type, I'm the guy say like my wife doesn't work, but I need my wife. Like literally, like she takes care of me and I take care of her. I need her and she needs me, and we've like, and you know what I mean? We've done this we understand that and we appreciate. You know what I mean?
Quick comment on that statement specifically because it's in here. Besides sex, what do you need that woman for? Unless you're going to have sex with a man.
Who said that?
Hey, that's up all day. You ain't even gotta.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta. Honestly, it depends on the person, but you just gotta live life and know you. You know what I'm saying?
You said that woman don't need you. She needs just one man to do what she wants.
Why do we generalize humans so much, bro? Like, especially like men be like, because like.
Yeah, why
do we do that? Because like a lot of times I'm in situations where I can't relate to certain shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's the basis of most of these conversations, to be honest. It's a generalization to speak about the averages of what most people do.
But it's fine. It relates to people.
You said you talking about relationship conversations, or you talking about all of our conversations?
What do you want to say? Politics? You want to say
yeah.
The relationship conversation.
Absolutely.
What we're speaking about is the average Jane Doe or Joe Doe, whatever that shit is called. And what the average of black people would be doing in this scenario, or the average of all Americans, or that's
right.
Yeah.
And you said you said why do we overgeneralize humans?
Yeah, just in general, like it's almost like this might be.
But I agree with that point.
Like, for example, like a lot of times, like I know like for me, like I listen to Joe Budden podcast, right? I don't enjoy all the time when they talk about like, what do you do if your girl did this? Or how did you know what I'm saying? Like to me, sometimes a lot of those are
a space that most of us don't even operate.
I mean, but even in the sense of like, I think I don't know. I'll take it back. I'll say something else.
Yeah, I'll say something else.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we ain't got too much time left.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Okay, now it's been fun. Hey, chat,
Modelo, bro. I'm telling you,
chat,
man.
Understand? We didn't ignore y'all this episode. We just been engaged inside like a really fire conversation.
Did they say anything?
Fire time.
Oh, yeah.
They
chat been going on.
we can probably scroll it up.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
We
No, we had a good discussion, man.
The chat mess with us.
yeah.
Shout out to the chat.
Y'all hear that storm
But,
coming?
Again, one shout out to Lone Ranger birthday. He
Yes,
just
sir.
turned
Happy birthday.
'Happy
54.
birthday, big
Yes,
dog!
sir.
Yeah.
AARP Club. He get
Yes,
this.
sir.
He almost there. We have had a fire guest again. Founder of the port. Like you said, it's a lot of the shit started inside a text thread. Me and NiGE. But to bring the conversation all the way back full circle to like sitting here now with Mike still in front of our faces, having a full frame conversations. And if you know, like the conversations that we used to have on whether it was right after the Music Monday ended or just whenever, like it was very much so a lot of these same conversations where we just, pick brains. And I think that almost an antecedent to where we're at. But saying that, not to say it's a fire artist right beside me. Got new music, got a new music video short. Now, how did you frame it?
The director frames it as a narrative a music narrative short film. So you know how like in like Thriller you have like a theatrical part at the beginning, then you have the music, and then you have a theatrical part, and it's like
Moonwalker
or like Moonwalk, especially like with how I was dressed and stuff. So the video is me.
So you put makeup on?
No, I didn't put makeup on. Not this one. No, you know what? They might have put a little, you know what I'm saying, like whatever camera stuff. Now I'm trying to remember. just in case they found that one picture. Yeah. So it was like that, like. But yeah, that video is currently being submitted to film festivals. We're gonna have a screening in Atlanta. We already got a script for the next one. I'm learning how this music thing works. Anybody know investors out there? You know what I'm saying? I got a whole business plan. I got the recoup plan. So I'm at a point now where I know who I am. I know what I want to do. I know a lot more about the business. So I'm just excited.
They say they got a recoup plan.
Yeah, recoup plan, 3 years. I'll triple that. Yeah, I don't know, bro.
Niggas don't understand that. Talk to them.
Yeah, where can they find you at, bro?
You can find me on social media, NiGE Hood, NiGEHOOD. NiGE. Yeah, I was thinking about that too because I was listening to the song, and bro, I used to say it's NiGE Hood all the time, bro. Yeah, that was it. It's NiGE Hood. But yeah, you can find me at Spotify. If you're on YouTube now, go ahead and open another tab and type NiGE Hood in. You'll find me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, bro.
Oh yeah, appreciate you for pulling up on us. He Daz, we tagged him right there in the comments right there. Another good episode. Definitely gotta come back. We I feel like we got way more to talk about.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have a part two.
We could have kept on going. We'd have been here.
We didn't even get in the FBA.
No,
or the FBLA,
bro. So it could have kept going.
No, I was gonna say, listen, what they did get a sneak peek of is like it was a retro moment where y'all got to see what like one of those fun Music Mondays happened when Keith and NiGE
we go do that.
And then it's going back and forth.
Yo.
But Johnny, before we leave, just kind of make sure that they understand. You cut it off, half off the OnlyFans.
Hit the link in the bio.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What we talking about?
Johnny, strap off, half off.
Yo, and I want to say, shout out to Vo, shout out to 90, shout out to Jacob, shout out to who else? I know Solo Marley, T3, Strong. Damn, who else? Damn, we ain't keep
Rich,
Rich's kids, Rich's babies. Jeff.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to Izzo too. All the people from Central. You know what I'm saying? De facto thespian.
The Lone Ranger.
Oh yeah, me too.
Nandi with the locks, the short one.
Gotti B.
Gotti.
Yeah, shout out to Gotti. Shout out to Josephina.
Yeah. What did she do? We don't know her. Oh, I know what you're talking about. She was like a theater major.
Christine.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christine. And shout out to Sophisticated Genius too, bro.
Hey.
Yo, what
They actually sponsored our first shows.
Roland and who's Turtle? Turtle. Brandon Norman.
And like I landed my boy.
They just ran the credits. I am your host, Johnny P. Before we get out of here, I want y'all to tap in with us on all socials at D2B Fair Show.
Unpack
Facebook,
Wednesday.
Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Hit the notification button. Hit like. If you see this after 7:30, put a comment below. And I'm your host, Johnny P.
Yeah. Bam.
Hey. Whatever that was.
Let's go.
Yeah.